Okay. Mark test 1212. 1212. This is the Other Room podcast, live and direct from BKK, Thailand.
Yes,
We are
sir.
on our 12th episode.
Yeah, 12,
Yo,
episode 12.
do we have to apologize?
Shit happens.
Shit happens. Okay, I think we skipped a week.
Yeah.
So we have to. No, as you all know, we still broke. We don't have our own permanent studio yet, so we're still moving.
Don't
So
have to tell them we're broke. Like, they're going to broke shame us.
we don't care. We just have to put the truth out there. So we're gonna set up a GoFundMe account.
Yeah.
So maybe you all can help our ministry.
You guys are going to crowdfund us.
So and again, now we are using another location, which is, you can see we don't
Yeah.
have the
backdrop,
the
yeah.
sexy background anymore. So nothing is happening. So just bear with us. We're still trying to get things together before we going to be probably stable in one studio. And again, we have a lot of things coming up this month. So just look out for the Other Room podcast in every platform, as you know. Oh, yo, I was reading something today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading something on Reddit, and it said like one of the iTunes and Apple podcast rules is you are not allowed to say their name in your podcast.
You're
So
not allowed to say who's
you have
in it.
to mention Apple Inc. Apple, a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's just so complicated. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's one of their rules. You can't say that without them giving you the right of using their names.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so I don't know. Before we start, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Joel, aka Authority.
My name is Anthony at Groovin Tony.
So what do we have? Where do we start from? Do we have to cover up last week
Yeah.
and this week? Like make like two
Let's
hours
just,
videos or three?
let's just do something like, let's do something real quick. Yeah,
Okay.
you sent me the article, right, on
Yes.
Bangkok Post. So let's just talk about something that really affects us here and a lot more Nigerians here in Bangkok. Then we'll move back home to Nigeria and Africa, and we'll talk something more relevant. So first, it's an article on Bangkok Post, which is out of Africa.
Yes.
So basically, the article really tries to like relate Black Panther, the superhero movie that everyone's been talking about, and it tries to like talk
Oh
about that
man.
and find a way to relate that with the plight of Africans in
So
Bangkok
first of all, we have to thank Black Panther first.
for actually bringing up the conversation, right?
Conversation, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. First, I think what Bangkok Post is trying to do is actually good because it's part of the social like obligations to the society, like trying to like raise racial
Awareness.
issues based off of the acclaim that the movie has actually had in Thailand. Because like from the box office in Thailand, I think it made like
200
over
million.
200 million baht, which
That's
is
huge.
actually good based off of the fact that people are basically not really that they basically don't really like Africans anyway
Yeah,
or
but
black
they're,
people.
they're
So
up. Yeah.
so to actually want to watch a movie that has black people in it, yeah, we know that there are differences when it comes to the hierarchy of black people. Like they see African Americans as being different from
Yes,
Africans, you
yes,
know.
yeah.
So simply because they are Americans.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing that Bangkok Post actually wanted to hear the opinions of Africans.
Of Africans,
And
yeah.
I feel like maybe the report is not really deep in the sense that they only interviewed
Three
three
people.
people,
Yeah.
like three Africans. In that sense, I feel like they could have done something even much better.
But you know what I think about the whole interview. You know, like when if you be interviewed by a very popular and famous news outlet,
Yeah.
you want to censor what you bringing out. You don't want people to see you as the bad guy, even though when you have a lot of things to say that is not going well, you just have to mind the way you say it, right? Because you know it's gonna be a lot of backlash. A lot of people gonna like your face is going to be on their news, on the newspaper, everything. So I think most of those guys really censored a lot, or maybe like just my personal opinion, you know, like we are not really putting out there what we've been going through in this country for years.
Yeah. The thing is, the thing is, the truth is not supposed to be censored.
Yes.
And I feel like this is actually an ample opportunity for them to air their opinion of things that they're actually going through, like the struggle of being a black man in Thailand. And that is where I feel like they missed the mark, because you're never going to have that opportunity often again. It's probably never going to happen.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's happening right now at a time that it's even much more important.
Yeah, this
due
is the
to the
right
black
time.
eagle and whatever, which was
Yes.
also referenced in the article, right? So it's the right time to have that conversation. But I felt like these guys missed the mark in the sense that they could have actually spoken the mind
Of millions of people,
of
of thousands of
Africans that are
living here. Yeah.
And that's where I felt like they missed the mark, because they want to sound politically correct. And not trying to like take anything away from the guys who were interviewed. But I felt it's two things that I feel. It's either these guys decided to say the things that is on their mind, and it wasn't reported by Bangkok Post.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously
Maybe.
the reporter has to edit a couple of stuff out due to the regulations and the rules and the present situation of Thailand, right? Or they outrightly did not actually say things
Say the right
way
thing,
it is.
yeah.
Because first, let me talk about the Nigerian guy. Like, I know people who study at Bangkok and at Rankamhaeng University. You're trying to give this impression that it's all rosy out there, it's all good. Like,
Come on, man.
we know how
Come
they
on,
treat
man.
students
Come
there.
on, man.
Hardly do you have students who have their undergraduates there want to go back there for their graduate studies. Hardly do you have that. And those who are there, they're actually complaining because the way they're being treated, being out there. So for him to try to economize the truth by not actually speaking the mind of people who probably would have expected him to speak more, like, because for me, I expected him to actually speak more about the things that he's going through as a black man, and most especially as a Nigerian. But in order to sound more diplomatic and being nice, he didn't really say the truth of things that black people are going through or Nigerians are going through.
That is my major issue with the entire interview. Is like they're asking you your experience, not like, I know we all have good, bad, or normal, regular experiences in this country, but
Definitely.
what really affected most of us is mostly the bad ones. Like, you're a student, you don't have you can't even find a job. Not even being a student after graduate, they're not gonna give you any chance like to prove who you are or what you've learned or what you got in.
Exactly,
you know?
like there's no benefit of doubt. The first impression that you get is like, oh, you're probably a bad guy. That's the first impression.
Exactly. Yeah, even like a lot of people who went for internship, you have to like really like work your ass off
to
like,
get an internship position. Like,
just
you really
being black.
have to like prove that. Oh, you have to go the extra mile to prove that you deserve an internship position. And an internship position here is not a paid position. So you're basically working for free, and you also have to go so hard to prove that you deserve that position. And not just that, also, the fact that we all have different experiences here, but the thing is that the bad outweighs the good.
Yeah.
The bad experiences outweighs the good once you're out there on the street. The taxi, the way they treat you, the policemen, it's even worse. The people, the level of prejudice that's out
just
there,
way
it
too
outweighs the nice things. There are nice people out there who really have good intentions, who wants to be your friend, who care about you, and who knows what you're going through as a minority. Because even within the Thai society, there are minorities,
like very good ones, like really, really good ones.
There's a level of social hierarchy or racial hierarchy even within the Thai system, where if you're more light skinned, then you belong to the higher class. Then the tan skinned one are basically like lower class, right? So even within the society itself, they have that level of prejudice towards each other. Then you just come out of nowhere from Africa, where the media portrays that, oh, it's a shithole or whatever. Then your chances become even much lower. And now you have the opportunity, you're in the spotlight to actually present a case. And then you just you just mess it up,
Just blow it up,
You
man.
just blow it up.
Just blow it.
I don't feel like there's no way you can say, okay, by not really being honest with yourself, that you being nice, that means that people are gonna like you or whatever.
Nah, bad news for you.
It's bad news. Like the thing
You're
is,
still gonna be stopped by
you're
police
still gonna get
tomorrow.
profiled.
You're still gonna they're gonna bust your house, come in without warrant, and still search you and like take everything, blood, like DNA, fingerprint, things like that.
It's not even about the authorities or whatnot. How about the common people out there that already just have this feeling that you're a bad guy? That they are not giving you that benefit of doubt. That they are not judging you by your character or how you treat them. That they just imagine that because, okay, you're from Nigeria, then you're already you're already a criminal or whatnot.
And there's this thing going on, like right now it's more of like a compulsory for even student, like mostly every black living in this country to undergo criminal wherever record before you could be able to extend your visa, right? So I was reading the news and there was like, if you're foreigner, if you want to marry to Thai lady, you have to submit your criminal record as well. And most of the Westerners started complaining. So the Western news is now talking about these things. This what we've been going through in this country for years.
Yeah, because
nobody knows about it.
It concerns them.
Yeah. Now the Western media is blowing off. Like they're just going, yo, why this, why that? Dude, we've been doing this for years in this country. We have to, like, everything we want to get criminal record is. Then you still have to, when you get to immigration office, you still have to register yourself with the police.
The thing is, now I just feel like the foreign community, the expats and whatnot, the Westerners and everyone is trying to like now find allies in the sense that, okay, we all now have this, because that was one of the things that back then when you go for your 90 days, then you have to fill in your bank account, like the places where you party and your social media accounts. But all of a sudden it disappeared after like 6 months.
Because it involves the Westerns.
Yes. Yeah. But when we were actually being targeted with all of that, or when things will be going through, until people start to feel it, then they now start to see things from our own vantage point. But when we say we're really neglected, they don't feel our pain. They don't actually see things from where we're coming from. And just to divert from all of that, I just feel like within our community ourselves, the thing is we're starting to subjugate and subvert ourselves, because I expected those guys who had the opportunity to speak for us to have said things that affected us all. In the sense they are trying to just portray this whole, like, it's all good kind of image.
No, it's not all good.
It's not all good. We know that. Like,
it's not good.
It's just not all good. Like,
and a guy was like saying, like, when he took the box, and the lady sitting close to him was like,
close.
This happens to me a lot. Like, even the BTS, that's one of the reasons I stopped taking BTS now. Like, I don't take BTS anymore because that happens all the time. Even when I use one of the best cologne, like, dude, I have like
I've never really had those experiences.
Oh
on the
God,
BTS, though.
it happens to me like 3-4 years ago.
No, I've
and
never
that was
had
one
those,
of the reasons I stopped taking
experiences
BTS. Like,
in
if
the
I'm going
BTS.
anywhere, I'd rather take motorbike or just take taxi.
Even with all of that,
BTS anymore.
right?
I stopped using BTS.
Something happened today, like this evening, right? I was coming back from the gym, so I didn't know. I saw this mixed race black boy. He's like a black Asian. So he saw me immediately and he was pointing at me.
Oh, brother.
Then, like, he wanted to come meet me. Then his mother held him back.
Oh.
And then I started to think about it in the sense that this little boy see me as a black man. And
Like
he immediately
someone he can relate to.
he immediately connected to me like, oh, this guy looks like me. And the boy is probably 3 years old. So,
and the best you think you could do is to hold him back.
so maybe, okay, I'm a stranger. I understand.
Who give a
so
shit?
The mom
Just say
doesn't
hi.
really.
Hi.
The
Hi
mom
is gonna
doesn't.
go to-
No. Basically, if I was a parent, the same thing I would have done.
Now we don't do that.
I would have hold my kid back because I don't know the stranger. So
then
I later discovered that
kidnap your own son right in front of you.
I actually later discovered that the dad is Nigerian, the dad is Igbo. So
Come on, man.
So he
Blood is
saw
thicker
me.
than water.
He saw me. He immediately connects to me like, oh, this is a guy who looks like me. And he was excited to come touch me or to come say hi or whatnot. And he's maybe 2, 3 years old. And that moment, like, I felt happy that, okay, this child could really relate. Like, he already sees someone who looks like him. He already loves, because he's maybe the only racial person around his immediate community, because all the other kids are Asian, right? So now I'm just trying to compare that to an incident I had like back then, like 3 years ago, when I was in the elevator with a kid and the mom. And the mom pulled back the kid, like the girl shouldn't enter the elevator with me. So the mom and the kid got out because I was in the elevator. So
by yourself.
Yeah. So I just went up to the gym. That was at a different gym back in Rankamheng. So I just went up. Then I got out of the elevator and then I waited. Then the next people that came up was the kid and the mom alone. Then I was just trying to think, like, you're already trying to teach this child hatred. Or maybe not explicitly, but implicitly you are implying to that kid that it is not safe for you to go into an elevator with a black man.
Guy.
And that kid is going to have that memory
For a long time.
For a long time, until something impacts her that changes that opinion. But because basically parents have a lot of influence on their child.
Yes.
And now you've already given that little child that impression. And imagine what happens when that little child knows another child which is black in their university or in their school. She'll probably not want to be friends with the black kid.
Yeah.
So this is how much racial issues are when it comes to this country. And I just felt like our people could have actually helped us make a better advocacy.
Yeah, when first of all, when I saw the news report, I was like just reading through it, and you were the first person I sent it to.
Yeah.
Then I went back to read. I read the entire interview, and I found out, like, what is the point? Like, if you're not ready to say what exactly is happening to you, why are you there for? Why do you have your photos there? Like,
yeah,
I don't want to know what you do for a living. I know it's either you're a student, you're doing business, but just make people know what exactly you're going through. Right?
It's more like just deriding.
Yeah, that was the reason I was like, nah, man. Like, I was expecting more. I don't want to know what you're plating here, you're here doing your masters. I don't care. We all, like, the point is, like, I kept saying this, like, the Africans living here who are legitimately living here are more than the African living here illegally.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Because even immigration laws have tightened up, like, in recent times. Like, the past 3 years, they've actually kicked out a lot of guys, and they've really tightened up the immigration laws. That it's not as loose as it was.
But yet, they're not changing anything. Like, the thing is, we still look the same to them. We are still the criminal.
Yeah.
The people that think they could do anything to, and the government, our government, like our embassy, they're not.
Basically,
they don't
it's
really
non-existent, man.
Yeah,
they're basically non-existent.
They know what has been going on, the racial profiling, black eagles, black Halloween, and things like that.
Yeah. I think it's even because of the response of the international community that they've actually toned it down a little bit. Like the whole black hole Halloween or black eagle.
What they still doing this? Actually,
it's still definitely happening out there, but it's just not as much. It's not really as publicized.
Yeah, publicized
and as more aggressive
before,
as it was before. Yeah, just to move away from that, I just want to talk about something that I actually feel like it's also like been out there. I've been studying. Like recently, I saw a podcast.
Other Room podcast by Anthony.
Yes, sir. That's what's up. So I saw on the podcast where Mood9 was talking about music. Like,
yes.
Yeah, he was saying that a lot of the guys out there now, that they just want a future. They just want to feature each other or feature a big star. They don't really want to, like, trust the process by really doing something tangible. That's one. It's like, artists will say, oh, he's an OG, he's just hating on the new school, right? Then, most importantly, one thing he said is that you see guys make a new music this week. He throws it out there. He promotes it. Like, then if he sees that it's not well received, he goes back to the studio after 2-3 weeks. He releases another one. And if the response is not as good as he wants it to be, He goes back to the studio. He releases another one like within a month. He already got like 3 different songs out there for people to listen to. Then finally, when he hits the mark, then it stays a little bit. Then to build on the momentum, he also wants to bring another music. So within the year, you have this artist having like maybe 10, 12 different, having 12 different singles that they just released within like weeks. And if you compare that to like how American artists are making music, it's actually very different.
It's totally different.
And even before now, it's also very different, like even in the Nigerian scene, whereby if an artist want to come up, they just come up with an album. Then maybe next year they come up with one, not just releasing singles after every 2 weeks.
Mostly when people release single, it used to be like maybe probably during the December period.
Yeah, just that people have something to groove to.
to groove to, right?
So when I listened to that, right, when Modnai talked about that, I felt like it was relevant that this is actually an issue within the Nigerian music industry. Then, most recently now, I've actually been seeing a lot of that happening. Like, you just see, like, if you go to Olamide Instagram page, I know, like, Olamide has a cult followership where he's like a demigod that cannot be criticized or whatnot. But if you go, you see, like, within 2 weeks, he's promoting, like, maybe 5, 6 different songs. And you're like,
come on, man.
Like, we're so saturated in this music that you can't actually even finish listening to one before another one hits you.
And what people are getting wrong about music is, one thing about music, the more you listen to music, the more you fall in love with the music. Some music, maybe you listen to the music this week, you don't have any relationship with the music. Maybe in 2 months' time, then you get clicked, get connected. That music is like something that the more you listen to it, the more you can relate to it, the more you find love, the more you find passion, like you will really, like you find meaning to that tunes. But if you keep bringing things out, I'm not even getting used to this one
first.
Yeah, this one is already out.
We are overwhelmed with this music. That's why there's so much saturation, like saturation of music out there that you don't even finish like really like processing the one you already have. Then you already hit with new ones from like left, right, and center, which is what Modnai was saying. And I already feel like I'm actually in that stage where I feel like I'm in a state of artistic coma, where I'm just getting hit like with different
from different
stuff,
angles,
like from different. I can't even like deal with everything. And just to talk about what you're saying, right? I've talked about with like multiple people who feels the same way that. Modnai's El Pluribus Unum album, like 10 years ago, till this day, they find something new out of it. There's a new gem in the wordplay that they'll just be like, wow, like I didn't catch this like for 10 years.
I saw, I don't know, maybe one of our episodes, you're talking about Modnai, that you listen to one of his songs and it's like one of the wordplay or the punchline, you just like recently got it.
Yeah,
got the minutes. Just find the minutes, I was like, yo, this is like.
And I'm still going back to the album.
That's how music works. That is how music should work.
So now with all these different like singles that are out there, how do I actually process all of this?
And come to think of it, I think music right now, there's no way I can relate to most of the music that has been released these days because a fan of meaningful music.
Yeah.
It has to be lyrical.
Yeah.
I don't really rate punchline that much, but the metaphor in your music has to be really good.
Yeah.
You see? So if you just throw in the straight sign, like the straight whatever on the door, I'm not in a straight anymore. Although my ear is there, but not completely. I want to hear something meaningful, something I can really, even though it's like, I can't relate to it, but I can feel like, this punchline is mad.
Yeah.
This lyrics is crazy. This metaphor is like, wow, right? I just want to hold on to something, not like you just give me a regular thing, like things like you can come up with in a minute. So that doesn't make me think. That doesn't make me sit back. I was like, put your song in the replay.
Like you listen to some of the Afrobeats coming out of Nigeria, you hear Shekpeteri, Shekpetebo. Like Legbegbe, like what the fuck, nigga? Like, how does that actually have meaning? And that's why, like, that's why I say it's so saturated in the sense that when a new slang comes, it actually overwhelms this whole
Yeah.
thing. It doesn't last. It doesn't have that durability to like go like for a while, like maybe a year. They're just maybe songs for 3 months. And then once people just get out of that vibe, they get into something new. Like when I listen to like Lagos State of Mind by Mode 9, for example, the same things he was talking about are still relevant. Or how, okay, example, how police buzz the cyber cafes looking for criminals.
Oh man.
SARS is still doing that till today. The traffic in Lagos, how people jump from downfall
that
from
is
downfall.
mad.
It's still
Because
relevant.
I grew up in the cyber cafe era. I know
Exactly.
exactly what you're talking about.
So-
I was doing my school. Then I used to study in NIT. I don't have computer at home. Sorry to say. So I have to go to cyber cafe every night just to do a lot of research and do things.
Yeah.
I went to Orile I booked the overnight. I went to Orile and we got busted. They took us to the police station. And the cyber cafe, I was broke. Stood, I only have my transportation back home with me. So I have to be there. And the cyber cafe owner came. He was like, oh, said to the police and let everybody
Like,
go.
oh, yeah.
I was like, yo, this is. So
It's
now that
definitely
is what
illegal because-
that is what SARS is doing right
As-
now.
Yeah, they are not actually going into
It was-
businesses.
yes.
Now
They
they are
just
cost
stay,
you on
they-
the road.
yeah, they
like
just
they
wait
limit
for
your
you.
freedom of movement. That you don't actually want to get out of your house or go about your normal daily activities. So they hit you right on the street, you being free on the street. That's where they actually arrest you. Then he talked about like the nightlife in Lagos, like OJ's Bar or the National Stadium, which was really booming back then. Like that's where people hang out. And then he talked about Fela Shrine and all these places. Fela Shrine is still like maybe one of the most active places for nightlife on the weekends.
I remember the
in-
last time I
in
went
Lagos.
there. The last time I went there, I was with my friend from Ikeja when I was like, yo, I was like having mad fun. It's like
Yeah.
everyone was like, then
That's
I had
music.
I had to control a girl from Ikeja. It was like, dude.
Yeah, the last time I was there was 2013, and I really
mine
that
was
was my
like
first
there
time
long,
though, and I
man.
loved it. So I went there
That was
like a
before
couple
I
of
traveled
times.
out. Probably
Yeah. I
2007.
was there a couple of times. And
2007.
so exactly, then he
yeah,
talked
around
about
that time.
like the traffic situation in Lagos on how people jump into downfall and all that. That's still very crazy. That's still like the reality of today. That is music for me. Growing up, like when I got into the Polytechnic, I got mentored by a guy from Edo State. He's Lagosian anyway, but he's from Edo State. Innocent in Donije. So he mentored me and he told me things about music, that music should be about the past, the present,
And the future.
And the future. And one of the reason why the great fella is seen as great is because the things he talked about in the 70s and in the 80s that
Still
he
happening.
got jailed for
Still
is
happening
still
right now.
happening.
Still happening.
The suffering and smiling he was talking about is still happening.
Still happening. Yeah.
The Delegiwa bombing that he was talking about is still a mystery that we don't know what happened. So everything that Fela talked about
And I was
is still
I don't
very
know,
relevant.
I came across some news. I don't know how it is. It was talking about one of the river discovered by someone or somebody, some Westerns, the colonizers, the colonial masters.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this shit has been here forever. It's ours. We know where it was, but he just came and gave it.
Yeah,
name.
yeah,
He
yeah.
gave-
Yeah,
gave
just
some fucking
renamed
name,
it.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it's yours.
The River Niger that
yes, your
said was
your
founded by
discovery.
Mungo Park. Yeah.
It's been us.
Yeah,
We
it's
know where
been
this
there. The
is.
people know what they had. It's just
They're
that
just
you
like-
renamed it and they
Like,
was like,
now
oh,
it's
it was discovered
boom,
by.
it's yours. Come on, man.
So not that's the same thing. Like a lot of this music can't stand the test of time. You can't make reference to it when you act. Okay, good. Like you listen to like maybe American sport analyst or social justice activist. When they're talking about things that are relevant, right? They're able to reverse back to like Jay-Z's lyrics or Kendrick Lamar's
they still
lyrics
quote lyrics.
or Killer Mike's lyrics or whatever
Yeah, that is right. That
to
is right.
literate their point. But how many of our social justice or social activists in Nigeria can actually say, okay, this is one singer or one rapper in the new era
Legbegbe.
that you can actually quote their song?
Legbegbe.
Okay, is this science student you actually want to quote when you're making a case for something very relevant?
Man. You know the problem, like, I think right now Afrobeat is one of the best musical genre in the world, right? It's going places, but most of the time it's not all about the lyrics because the people doesn't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
People are actually dancing to your music.
To the dance, to the
It's
tune,
all-
the melody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just to the melody and to the beat.
Yeah.
So you have the obligation of actually saying something meaningful.
Yeah.
When people ask, "Oh, what was it talking about?" They go, "Oh, this is this, this is this, this is this," right? People can actually interpret. I was like, "Wow, this is crazy. This is
Yep.
nice." You see, now you see Puff Daddy dancing to Fela.
That's exactly what I want to say. Like, say you hear it here first. Puff Daddy and these other guys have been listening to Fela a lot now. When they go
Sweet
into the
Beats is
studio
like, oh, come on,
and they start to make Afrobeat song
they use most of
that
the
they
old
can
samples.
use with real hip hop stuff, they're actually going to outsmart us who actually started the Afrobeat in Africa, because the rappers, these really socially conscious rappers, are going to be saying things
that really
are
matters.
meaningful
Yeah.
and relevant. And then with the sound and the melody of Afrobeat, a lot of African Americans will be able to reconnect
With that,
with motherland.
yeah.
Don't be surprised then that when these African Americans start to actually get involved in Afrobeat,
Like, really,
they're actually going to get more rated than our local
they
singers.
are going to beat us on our own
Say
shit.
you hear it here first.
They're going to beat us on our own things
I
because
tell
they're
you,
going to modernize
because
it. They're
it's going to be
involve-
more meaningful
They're going to
with
put,
what they do. The
they're going
things
to
they
put
do
hard
with it.
because now it's like, okay, like you have something, you don't know how precious what you have is.
Yeah.
Not until it's gone.
Yeah.
And people who found it, they found meaning in
Yeah.
what you have.
Yeah.
Now they go, yo, this is the real shit. I've been looking for this. And this is my chance of proving to the world that what I have right now is the bomb. Right?
Maybe Afrobeat is actually the vibranium that
Exactly.
we're talking about in
That's
Black
what they don't
Panther.
know. It might be. It might
Maybe
be our
Afrobeat is the
tools
vibranium
to
we're
take
talking
over the
about.
world.
So you never know, bro. You just never know.
There's
Like,
a chance of doing something grow with Afrobeat. We go in places like in Europe. I told you, I kept saying this. My friend kept sending me Afrobeat. Like, yo, this shit is in Finland. This shit is the bomb. In Holland, this is, you know.
and you not really have you now have Nike ads that uses Fela's lyrics, Fela's song in Nike ads. Like, it's so global. It's now part of pop culture and it's just so mainstream and it's normalized to have Afrobeats out there. So when people just move, because music is actually revolutionizing and it's actually developing. So when guys now start to like really do Afrobeats, like they really do with this whole new set of technology,
okay.
they're gonna do it better than us.
I said something. I don't know which song I was listening to. I don't know where I was listening to this song. And I don't know who sang the song, but it was a lady. And it was Afrobeat. And someone said, this girl that sang the song is not from Africa.
Okay.
I swear to God. I forgot. I would have asked, what is the name of this song and what is the name of the girl? Say, a white girl. And you remember I posted on Twitter a few weeks ago that don't be surprised when white people actually taking over Afrobeat.
Yep. Okay, because even if you look at the traditional African religion or culture, and they have found its roots to places like Brazil and other places in South America, right? You see that the way
it's actually the
worshipped.
white people who is still keeping the culture going.
Yeah.
It's the white.
Not even
It's
the slave,
Afro Brazilian
yeah.
or wherever. Yeah, still the white who
Yeah.
kept the culture alive.
Even if you watch She's Gotta Have It by
Oh yeah,
by
yeah.
Spike Lee, right?
Yes,
You
the
see
girl,
the reference.
the reference. The girl
Right,
it was
it's
actually
white
like
skin,
white skin. It's like
white skin, like okay,
mixed
trying
blood.
they're trying to like project that Oshun, the river goddess, is light skin.
Oh wait, I don't know. There's these two girls, right? I think they are Americans, right?
Yeah.
They have a group, and the name of their group is Oshu. So, yeah, these two girls, Oshu. If you listen to, oh no, I'm not gonna play your music. If you listen to their music, if you watch the video, they actually bring the concept of Oshun, or the Yoruba goddess
Culture,
concept into other video,
Okay.
into other music video.
Because
so surprising, you know,
because
like
they understand the name, right?
yeah,
And
and it was I just randomly like play this. Like, I don't know, man. Just when you get home, just listen to these girls, man. The most of the music video is actually talking like kind of related to, and there is one of their songs is actually Yoruba's something. I forgot the name. I don't want to
yeah,
play their music, but man, you see this song Oshun God's something.
cipher, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, let me.
Yeah, there's no point playing the music,
I don't
but
want to play their music.
basically
yeah, but,
that's
yeah,
what
those girls
that's
are
just what
dope.
it is, you know.
Yeah. So
We just need to actually preserve our culture, you know, and preserving our culture is like really having something that's meaningful out there for people to relate to.
really
I just feel
relate
like
to,
a lot of the music, there are really good music that's coming out of Nigeria. You can't deny that. Like Fowles, like I'm a fan now. Like he's doing really good. The videos having really good stuff there out there. Same goes for I don't really know Whiskey. I don't really know. He's been having like so
This-
many songs out there, like every 2-3 weeks. The same thing
but
goes for Olamide, and I'm like,
I'm not
what?
feeling the last two songs of.
I'm not even feeling it because it's just too much out there. Like you can't really like go through it. So I don't get it. Then let's talk about something that's actually also been going on in Nigeria, right? And we also talked about it briefly when I got here, which is broke shaming.
Oh, okay.
Like
Oh, okay. Oh, the slave mama.
we're not misogynist, you know, because it might just be like, oh, why are this guy always talking about girls or trying to shame girls on their show? Like we're not misogynist. No, I don't. I feel
Okay,
like
so it's now a crime for a guy to be broke.
well, apparently that's what some Nigerian girls are trying to make it seem like. I'm
But
not
they're
saying
equally fighting for equality.
I think the misconception about this whole equality thing is that I'm okay with equality, right?
I don't
But
have
at the
problem
same
with
time, I feel like the best thing that could have worked is equity. Equity in the sense that here it is. Equity is the sense that we have that moral obligation and the empathy to make sure things are normalized, that
Normalized,
everybody
yeah.
have equal
right,
not
or
equal right, but
opportunity or
giving
something like
that
equal,
level to be
yeah.
on that higher level. But given, okay, let me make this an analogy as equality, right? Here is equality. If a girl hits you back, if a girl hits you first, and you hit her back, that is equality.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can't take, then keep your hands to yourself.
Yes.
But you know what is equity? If a girl hits you first, and you look like, oh, she's weak,
Just let it go.
I'm gonna like there's no way she stands a chance. Yeah. I'm gonna let it go. That's equity.
Yeah, sometimes people don't really know. They don't know what they are fighting for.
Because
equality is more of how would I put this? Like they don't know the difference between doing something right and how can I put this?
okay, let me also use this
Like
analogy,
you
right?
do, you like do something right and do what is right.
Doing something right, which is the right thing to do,
Yes.
or doing something because
It's right.
there's that fine line between.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find like
a
the
really
line.
easy analogy that I see out there about equity and equality is this: if a person, right, is standing on a 2 feet tall chair, two people are standing on a 2 feet tall chair. That is equity. Because they
Yes,
are
like-
both standing on 2 feet tall chairs.
No matter how high, like how they are different heights.
They are
right?
different heights.
Yes, so
that
no
is
matter
equality,
yeah, it's
right?
equality.
Because they both have 2 feet. But if one person is
It's
standing
shorter.
on a 2 feet tall chair and another is standing on a 4 feet tall chair, and when they stand and they are on the equal height,
level, yeah.
that is equity,
Equity,
because equity demands that one person is shortchanged. Because that person is shortchanged, then there is a need to provide more for that person to be on equal level.
Yeah.
So I feel like we should be moving towards that. And I'm perfectly okay with equality, right? But with that, if we talk about equality, men will still always have advantage over women. But when we talk
Fact.
about equity, that is where empathy comes in the sense that
Yes.
we all have mothers and we all have sisters, and we want them to have equal opportunity or to succeed as much as us. So that is where that equity comes, where we always have to use our moral values to actually judge situations. It's more like value judgment.
It's just like this. Like now we have to run like 100 meter race, and I know quite alright that Bolt is like a thunder. He's faster than I do.
He's a boat.
Yeah, and I want to start the same time with him.
With him.
That
That's
is
equality.
But if you're like, yo, I'm faster, but I want you to start
First.
so let me
That's
hurry up.
equity.
That is equity. And that is normal thing to do.
That's the normal thing to do. Because take it or leave it, women are going to be changed somehow. Because, okay, one easy thing is, okay, you look at the period where women are pregnant, right? They go through a lot more. Like, they have a lot going on within their hormones, mentally and all that. So if you grounded equality during this period, then everyone is equal. Yeah. But if you grounded equity based on, you think of the nuance of their situation and everything, then it even gives them more advantage. But then everybody is okay at the end of the day.
So that's what matters. That's what matters. The end result, not like the end result.
Where everyone goes home happy.
Happy.
And almost equal opportunities or equal chance of something going right for everyone. But with equality, things are still going to go wrong for people.
A lot, because like if you're weak and you want to slap someone first, that means if you can give it, get ready to take it. It's as simple as that. And when guy is broke, like I'm not scared of announcing it publicly that I'm broke. I don't have money. I might have enough to do one or two things. Maybe
to make up with your needs.
My needs. Maybe I don't have exact money. I was like, people think like, oh, if you want to buy a car today, you have the money to buy it. What if I don't have it?
Exactly.
Then I'm broke. I can't buy a car.
And that goes back to the issue of broke shaming is actually embedded in relationship. Okay. And that's what actually brings about broke shaming as a real good conversation on social media in Nigeria, in the sense that girls wanting to go into a relationship with guys expect the guy in Nigeria, they expect the guy to be able to provide for them financially.
Take responsibility of everything.
A relationship is not a paid job where you expect people to pay you or whatnot. Like some Nigerian girls, not to say a lot, expect you that at the end of the month, you should be giving them a certain amount of money every month.
Oh.
Either for cosmetics, for getting new makeups, for transporting himself to come see you and everything. And I told a guy recently, I was
work for Chevron, maybe.
I was texting with a guy recently. I said, like, for the past 6 years, I've been free of transport money, thanks for coming money, and whatever money. For the past 6 years, I've been free of that. Like, I don't have that burden of having to do that, because the kind of girls or ladies that I've been with since I've been out here in Thailand are not those type. There are people who are highly independent. So, and this whole culture of broke shaming goes back to the fact that a lot of our ladies are dependent, even though they try to like give you the impression that, oh, I'm independent, I'm a feminist and whatnot.
Well, on what way? If you come to think of it, if you have a reasonable job, you're working and you earn money, why should you be asking someone to finance
foot your bills?
For what?
And the thing is, this situation where you have people being ladies broke shaming men is because ladies expect men to be richer than them. It still goes back to a fundamental social issue that you expect a man to be richer than you. So if we are talking about equality, then we should all have the same amount of economic power. So you broke shaming a guy because the guy is not worth financially as much as you want him to be worth. That's the problem, and you can't actually blame guys, because if you look at the Nigeria economy...
Wait a minute. I don't get it. Like, if you broke shaming someone that you think they should be able to provide some certain thing for you, but that is what you cannot even provide for yourself.
But what do you even bring to the table?
What you cannot provide for yourself, what are you going to do to yourself?
Exactly, right? And the thing is, I
should be ashamed of yourself, because you should be ashamed.
The things you expect a person to provide for you are things you can't even provide for yourself. So why are you putting that burden on someone else? And even at that, you're shaming the person.
Like you get it angry. Like I come to us like, Tony, I beg, give me 10,000 baht. I say, bros, I don't get it. Then I started like,
Oh, why you
why
not get?
Okay,
why don't
not
you
ask
have it yourself?
Why you not get?
And one of the problem that leads to people being broke or people being poor is this. One of the things that someone has talked about recently that I think makes sense, that the economic problem in Nigeria, it's really so bad in the sense that people normally with years going by, right? People are supposed to move up the economic ladder from low middle class to high middle class,
high
then
middle
to the
class.
bourgeois, right? But those who are the low middle class, who expect themselves to be in the high middle class, are not getting there.
Actually,
And
going
those
even low.
and those in the middle class or the high middle class who are expecting themselves to go into the bourgeois, they are not getting there. And what are they doing? They are now running away from the country. They are going abroad
Oh yeah.
because there they stand more chance. And also they can afford to get away to like maybe Canada and these other places. Now, that's the problem because these people feel like, okay, it's now my time to move up the ladder. And I'm not moving up. Is there a
What else?
place where I can move up? They feel like, okay, abroad. Then they run there. So people who are broke, it's not their problem. It's not their own fault that they are broke. It's just that the government does not actually provide the opportunity for them to move up the ladder. And a lot of the guys who are getting broke shamed, a lot of them have degrees.
See?
They're ready to work.
You see?
And the minimum wage is 18,000 naira in Nigeria. How much in dollar is that? 18,000 naira in dollars
That
is
is
like
like-
$50.
No, that is like 800 baht. No, 1,800 baht.
Yeah, it's like basically like $60.
$60.
That's the minimum wage, which is like 18,000 naira, right? In Nigeria, you have graduates who are earning less than 100,000 naira. A lot who are earning like 30K, 50K.
It's 10,000 baht.
That's after spending 4 years
300
learning, right?
$340.
So okay, $100 is like 36,000 naira or 38. So we have people who are earning $100 in a month, and who are graduates. So, and that person has to pay for transportation. They have to eat. They have to pay house rent. So how do you expect a person like that to be able to actually provide for your own needs? And because a person can't provide for your need, you feel like, oh, they don't deserve to be in a relationship.
Maybe you don't deserve them.
What happened to having physiological needs that is in the Maslow's hierarchy of need? We all have that physiological needs, which involves like a relationship, emotions, and sex and whatnot.
I don't know. Like,
I don't get it.
things like this always make me think twice. Like, am I ready to go back home to find a wife, or I should just say, fuck it?
I don't really see a Nigerian girl in my future. I'm sorry.
I
Because
started
of
having the
things
same
like this.
feelings too. I started having the same feelings
I'm
too.
not ruling it out, but I just don't see it. It can happen, but I just don't see
Maybe
it
if
happening.
if we meet outside,
Because especially when you have a lot of girls that have this mentality, right? That a guy has to provide for them. That's the problem. That's why you see that when a guy provides for a woman back home in Nigeria, that's where they feel like they have the right to treat them however they want. They have the right to limit them to the kitchen. And be like, basically, I provide what you want anyway, so I decide what you do.
What you do, yeah.
And if you're working and I still have to provide money for you and still be able to foot the bills for the kids and everything else, then what's the problem? What's
the point?
What's the point of you working?
You can just
then
stay
just
home.
be a stay-at-home mom.
Just be like
That's I
full-time
feel
wife.
like that's one of the problems that have bred the culture of patriarchy. But if women are more financially empowered, they can make better choices. And they won't actually be limited to the kitchen and whatnot. But when we have this young generation of women who are broke-shaming guys who are trying to like walk up the ladder. And things, the guys you're broke-shaming, if you actually talk to your parents, they will tell you that when I met your dad, he had nothing.
Nothing. I stayed with him. We suffered together.
I think like most parents in Nigeria have that same storyline. They'll tell you, when I met your dad, he couldn't even afford a bicycle.
Yeah. But
that's what they tell you. Like, now we're able to like get a home, get a car, get you through school.
To school.
Even in Western countries, you have to go get a student loan to go to school.
Yes. A lot.
Because
But in
that's your
Nigeria,
responsibility.
yeah, but in Nigeria, it's not
But
like
in
that.
Nigeria, it's not like that. Your parents see it as an obligation
knew
to
a
get you
girl,
through school.
even in this country, I knew a girl who is still paying back. She dropped out actually for the loan. And the thing is like the school, the university was actually giving her the loan. So she dropped out. She still have to pay back the whole money.
For the time that she studied, even
Yeah.
though she dropped out.
Now, even though she dropped out, she had to pay the entire money, that
Money.
was supposed to see her through the university.
Yeah. Because that's the agreement.
Yeah, now
So-
she have 30 years to pay back.
Yep.
And she have to pay like every month like 1,600 baht.
But you have that luxury back home that your parents are going to pay you through
Pay
school.
you through school.
Even
You
through
should be
graduate school or
happy.
postgrad school. And the moral of that, or to piggyback to the reason why I'm bringing that up, is because our parents met our fathers
Yeah.
when they were broke. I'm not saying you should settle for less, but basically the economic conditions back then has not really changed.
Still the same
It's
thing.
almost very
same
identical,
thing, yeah.
or if not even worse, because if you look at the price of rice, the price of the dollars to the naira within the past 5 years,
Oh, no.
it's growing exponentially compared from the Yar'Adua's regime to the Buhari's regime. Yar'Adua then Jonathan then
Jonathan,
Buhari.
yeah,
So it's growing exponentially to the naira or to the dollar, either way, if you make the comparisons. So now we now have this new generation of women who feels like they want an already made guy.
Trust me, too much of internet is bad.
I just don't even. Yeah, I feel like internet
There's
has
so
bred
much
this
freedom,
culture
yeah.
of materialism, consumerism, and again, narcissism epidemic. In the sense that everybody want to flaunt for the gram.
Yes,
They want to
I was
slay.
reading a news like a girl from the States. She went into like she have $10,000 debt just to gain followers on Instagram.
See, these are people who don't even care about you. You're dying; they don't give a fuck.
She spends so much money just to buy a designer's bag, go to nice places, buy shirt to wear different shirt for her Instagram like every
Yeah.
week. And she ran out of money. She have to take a loan of 10,000. Yet she still got like 240 likes. Not even up to 1,000.
1,000 like. Exactly. We now have this culture where people see rich people on the internet. They want to be like them, but they don't actually want to work hard to be like them. They want to go through the short route. That's why you hear these cases of Nigeria where they say they are using girls for money ritual, where they are living, they are alive, but they've been used. I don't know how that goes, but we hear those stories and thinking of where we come from. We know these stories are real.
100% real.
These stories are
100%
real
real.
because people who are doing it, guys who are doing these things, they confide in their own friends
Yeah.
that, oh, so many girls, or I have to sleep with this number of girls in a week or in a month to be able to keep what I got going for me going. And that's for the guys then. Because the society has made it or for them that you have to make money to be able to get the
Yeah.
girl you want. And how do they make the money? They'll go about any way they can to make the money.
By all means
Because
necessary.
even if you have the patience to wait for your time to climb that economic ladder, it might just never come. Imagine the number of people who were waiting during Yar'Adua that, okay, the economy is going to get better. I will move up that ladder. And then
Suddenly
things
Yes.
just got out of hand. Like the price of petroleum got higher, the price of food got higher. Your salary remains the same. Then tax and everything else go higher, but your salary really never goes up.
Stay the
So
same.
you can't move up that ladder. You're just
Stay
there.
just like
So people see it that a lot of Nigerian youth see their parents work so hard, and then they wonder how they don't make enough money. And they get discouraged that, okay, what if I also work hard and I don't make this money? Then maybe I'll just do whatever it takes, even though it's illegal or immoral, just to make the money. That's why you see people doing money rituals or doing all sorts of things.
I don't know.
And it's because we are being constrained as men to feel like we have to. It's seen as being part of masculinity to be able to
you have to
have money
yeah,
or whatever.
money you have to provide for not only yourself, for
And
your girlfriend as well.
Just to add to the context of this conversation, right? There's this tweet from a girl called Monisola on Twitter. She said, "I'm sick of broke shaming. It is obnoxious and cruel. to expect a man to be financially buoyant simply means because he's a man. Okay, to expect a man to be financially buoyant simply because he's a man is just as offensive as expecting a woman to cook and clean simply because he's a woman. It's true.
That's
okay,
right.
we just intuitively just expect every woman to be able to cook. And to be able to clean the house and take care of the house.
Come to think of it, we living here by ourselves.
Yeah.
We cook.
Yeah.
For ourselves. So if we don't know how to cook back home, how would we be able to cook here?
Do it here?
I will clean the room by ourselves. You don't
exactly.
have to depend on somebody.
If I can't do it, I get a cleaner.
Yeah.
To come clean and I pay her.
Just pay.
I don't ask any of my girls to do it for me. Like, I don't care.
And even here, if you have a girl coming over, you want to clean.
Yeah, you want to clean and look good. You don't have to ask her to do it.
You don't wait for her to come.
That's exactly what she's saying, that it's really obnoxious to be broke shaming guys, because it's basically not their fault that they're not financially okay. And a lot of people think it's even broke girls who have this mentality.
Yes, that is right. Yeah.
Because their parents can't provide for them.
And they don't have any means of.
It's a guy who has to provide for them.
So they're pushing the responsibility on the guys or on their boyfriend.
And someone said something which I think makes sense. A guy said, "My own is broke girls should not be broke shaming broke boys. We should unite and fight poverty together." It's true. Yeah. Then he asked, "We should fight poverty." No, true. He's going back to the root cause.
Everything was so good, but any nigga who says we should die
and fight poverty,
is corny as fuck.
And you know what? Our parents marrying each other, knowing they are broke, is they are uniting to fight poverty. Our parents have done that, and I feel like
that's just so funny to me, man. I love it.
It is.
That sounds so funny.
It is funny because if a guy who's broke decide to marry a girl who's also broke,
they actually hustle together and make something happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I feel like our parents.
That is right, though.
That's a social experiment.
So funny. Though.
But I think our parents have already done
because
this.
come to our parents have
because
experimented
they're both
this.
broke.
This. But now, but the point is now, you see, in the hierarchy of people being rich or whatsoever, right? You see now the rich people want to get to marry to the rich people.
Yeah.
The middle class people want to get married to the middle class.
He didn't finish there. He said, "Do you see rich girls shaming rich boys?" No, it doesn't happen. It is us poor people who actually attack people. And I don't know, but I feel like scientists should be able, social scientists should be able to find a relationship between being poor and being violent. Or there should be a tendency that rich people tends to be violent, or poor people tend to be violent. There should be a connection there, but I don't know how it should be. But I think social scientists should actually look into that.
That is more psychological thing because
then there's that pressure. Right?
A lot of pressure on you. Not only that, if you couldn't be able to provide what you need for yourself, you develop this mental instability where you feel like you put a lot of pressure on yourself, aside from the pressure that is coming out from outside, right? So you put this pressure on yourself that, no, I'm not, like, there's something I'm doing wrong, there's something I'm doing right? You cannot see rich people, like, if you see a rich person who is violent, that means they are violent based on happiness. You know, they just feel like they have the money, they just want to do something stupid. Yeah. But poor people is more of like, it's a lot of things. Like,
I feel it's frustration that you see that
come to think of it. When I was growing up, sometimes when dad wants to say, "Mom, to the market," I was left alone at home, and we don't have enough food at home. Maybe there's no food, and in the afternoon, I becomes angry. You know, like I'm hungry, but I want to eat something. But if those young boys want to play with it, I was like.
That's why they say a hungry man is an angry man.
So that poverty is like causes anger, not only anger, it causes violence. Cause a lot of things, man. A lot.
No, I feel like what this guy is saying, there's already a social experiment in that sense that a lot of our parents married each other while they're poor. But they were hoping that things will get better.
Yeah, one day
That
it will be good.
together,
Yeah.
if they work together, they'll be able to get up
Yes, that's fact.
financially, and
That's
they will
fact.
be able to fight poverty, right? So now he's saying, let's do it.
We
Like,
should really.
we have a
that
new
is-
era.
that-
We can do
dude,
it.
That is a
Because
very
truly,
nice
you
point.
don't
That
see-
is- That's one of. You know why I was laughing so hard because of that point? Because that us coming together and being united. Is
Yeah.
like, just come from out of nowhere. I was like, yo.
Yeah, I
like
was
hit me
like
with that yo-yo. You
RKO,
know,
man.
I was like KO. I was
bang.
like, dude. And that makes a lot of sense, you know. Like, actually, poor people really have to, like,
Unite and
Man,
yeah, because it's
have to
much
fight
as
together,
like, when
man.
we're fighting racism, right? We're like, you need to unite as the human race, where we don't actually see white, brown, or black.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, and the same thing goes with being poor too. But like, and it also goes down to what the San Antonio Spurs coach Greg Popovich was talking about, that we are inspired that we have so much money and we think there's a need for us to help the poor. That's more like uniting to help the poor, because
Yes.
you have more than them. And if you actually look at it, there's a little bit of fairness as to how everybody could be able to make money. But some people basically just make more money than others. And you can't blame them. If you look at a lot of our NBA players, they are just high school graduates. They go into college, they study 1 year, and they go into the NBA. So, and you have a lot of
like
college
millions.
graduates out there who don't even make 1% of what they make. Like when
But-
LeBron James came into the NBA, he was making about $420,000 a week.
but
How many graduates make that in a year?
yeah, but the thing is, like, one thing about, I don't like what my only problem with the way human or way people treating the athlete is because we think what they have, like the athleticism or whatever in any sport they're doing, and they're making this so much money.
Yeah.
It's more of like a natural ability. No, it's not.
No.
It's natural ability combined with skill,
With-
combined
yeah,
with
with a
dedication.
lot of stuff, yeah.
See, the time you spend it at the library studying there, and the
They're
basketball
all spending
court,
their own time doing their own
doing their
thing.
own
they
thing,
believe
they
in.
master their own craft.
Yeah,
So there is
exactly.
the same things. Like,
We
you
all
can't-
don't have the same aspirations.
You can't go to college, you can't go to university and study basketball. It's not possible. There's no
Yeah.
way. Even though, no matter how much time you stay reading or like plotting, whatever, there's no way you can be good if you don't practice it. But they're actually going out there, putting their body to work, facing everything. If they got, like, we know a lot of basketball, football who couldn't even make it to the league because they got injured.
Yeah.
The
And
responsibility
you
is on
even
them.
know how many people who want to make it to the league who can actually not make it.
Yeah,
It's like
a
out
lot.
of like a million, you just have 60 people
60
who make
people
it.
who make-
Yeah, because
So it's
you
like,
have
dude, we
have,
should be like
the first
should be
round and
giving
the
them
second
the
round.
credit they deserve, man. Those people put their body,
yeah,
their
exactly.
body.
Like there are people who you out there. You just ask them, "What do you want to be?" They tell you, "I want to be a programmer or I want to be a coder." That's what they want to do. That's
Yeah.
all they care about.
Exactly.
Everything they're doing
It's
is
all
tailored
about that,
towards
yeah.
that. And there are people you ask them, "What do you want to be?" I want to be a football player. I want to be a basketballer.
They have to go to
And
training like
everything
two trade.
they do is towards
times a
that.
week, a
And
day.
basically, we are told follow your dreams. So if a particular thing or a sport is what you choose as the dream you want to follow, then do it.
Just do it.
So I don't
Just
see
do
the
it.
need to
The credit.
like discredit that. Oh, shut up and dribble or dribble
that
or
shit
whatever,
was
whatnot.
terrible.
So I just think like it's just like what Kobe Bryant said, and I was talking with my professor like the other day that right, Kobe Bryant winning the Oscar, right? You just piggyback to some of these things we as humans or we as people, regular people, have about basketballers, that they don't have any special skill. That all they just do is that they have the ability, or sport people generally, that they just have this ability of being athletic, and that's it. That they
That is
cannot
exactly
actually
what they're
do
getting
anything
wrong.
else.
If you give them the chance of ruling
And
the
now-
country, there will be a better
And
president.
there you have Kobe, who's actually talking about his own story after like 20 years of his career, right? He's talking about his own story in a very short
Animation
story,
movie.
right? Animation, right? Which is about 4 minutes long. And he worked with the right people and he got the right credit for it.
Exactly.
So now, if you're saying that he didn't have any better skill, then he just proved you wrong that he's versatile.
And most of the basketball player does the same thing too. They are investment wise, LeBron James invested in a pizza company on no pizza company.
Yeah.
And now
And
it's
now
like
they're so
millions.
big. And even minus that, right? You have Damian Lillard who can really rap.
Rap. This is the natural
So even
born
if
rapper.
he's not an
Not
athlete,
even
he will be
Imashopet
rapping.
too can drop.
Yeah. So the thing is, we just really have this bias where we just feel like, oh, these people are just regular people.
We have Shaquille O'Neal, who is like
who is a really
low-key
good DJ, right?
DJ basketball, and he's like he got like PhD as well.
Yeah, he got his PhD in education or whatnot. Yeah.
And it's like come on, man. I don't know why. And people who are saying this, to me, I think they're really ignorant because.
And then you look at Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin is a really smart guy. Like,
Harvard,
he got out of Harvard. Like, how many people
man.
can make it into Harvard or like an Ivy League school? So he's a basketballer, but he's also smart. And there are also guys too. Like, if you look at guys like David West is really knowledgeable. Like, he read lots of books. Then when you talk about JJ Redick is very opinionated. Like, he reads a lot of like papers, articles, and whatnot.
Those guys really know what is going on.
Yeah, they know a lot of stuff
going on. Just because they don't have the luxury or like the time to speak about it doesn't mean they don't know anything.
They know a lot. We just feel like their ability is limited to athleticism and sports, but they do even far more better than that.
You know, when people said Mayweather cannot read, I was like, I had an argument with that. I was like, no. I said Mayweather, he doesn't even need to read. For what?
Yeah.
Why? He mastered the act of boxing. For what? Why? He already got a PhD in boxing. So what else he want to prove to you?
It just goes back to that whole idea in our society that for you to be anything, you have to be educated or you have to have a degree.
And that thing is actually killing us so bad.
It's killing us because it's just putting people into debt, into student loans, man. Like, there are a lot of people who could actually do something else with their life.
Okay, come to think of it, the money we've invested on education in this country, if we actually have the catch money right now, it's like, go into business, go and do trading with this.
I do a lot of stuff with it because sometimes the only thing I just feel is that the money I'm spending in education is more about investing in human development.
Or more self-development.
But a part of that, if the money that I've been spending on my education here was supposed to go into business.
The thing is, like, the good thing is, like, we pay, right? We not owing. We don't have to, like, we're going back to work and bust our ass to do what? It's like, that's why we don't really know the value.
The value compared to, like, people who actually have to, like, go back over a 10 years period.
I knew someone who, after studying, she went back home and she declared herself dead. Just so she won't pay back the
student loans. Like, I know people who are working right now who has to, like, pay back student loans, you know. And I feel like that's a luxury we have too, that we're fortunate to be who we are and to come from the background where we come from, where we're able to afford it. And we don't have to worry about paying that back. Like,
That's why we take everything is like easy. We can do whatever we want.
So,
and the thing is, like, if we have come to think of it, if we really have to pay back, and we go back home and there's no guarantee job for you, that is suicide.
Right. Because then time is already counting because
that is suicide.
Because there's already a timeline of when you have to pay back.
And maybe you already spent like 4 or 5 years and still no reasonable job that is well-paid job for you to start, man. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
No fucking way, man. So what else do we have to say? What else do we have to talk? What about Buhari said he want to...
Oh, come on, man. Like, seriously, like...
Ghanaian.
I don't know, like...
Ghana government to fight corruption.
But for real, right?
That's just so stupid.
I feel like there's a problem with leadership in Nigeria. In the sense that...
Big problem.
I feel like there's a culture of psychophancy in the sense that... I understand that as a president, right? You don't really see much of what is going on outside.
Right? Maybe.
But the culture of psychophancy is built around the people who are working with you, that you're supposed to see the world through their lens. But instead of seeing the world or the nation through their lens, you are blinded. Because they keep telling you that all is well. Oh, there's nothing going on. The people are living fine.
Yeah.
You know? Okay.
I think that is one of the major problems in Nigeria.
Now, okay. Ambode raised a certain levy in Lagos State from 10,000 to 50,000 naira. Oh, okay. So now they question him that, Ambode, why are you raising this levy? It's still ongoing right now in Lagos State by 400% because that's 400%. He said like, oh, I only raised it by 40,000 naira. Why are you saying 400%? But 400% is 40,000 naira. But you know what he feels? He feels like you saying 400% is exaggerating the situation. But mathematically,
that's
it's
400%.
same. And he feels that 50,000 naira is small money for people to afford.
Come on.
He feels like people are easily able to afford 50,000 naira because he can. But he's not seeing what people are seeing. He doesn't know. He doesn't live through the experiences, the shared stories of what people on the street of Lagos are going through. The same thing is applicable to a much larger country, which is Nigeria, moving from Lagos to Nigeria now. Buhari is surrounded by people who are not telling him the truth. And he doesn't even know what's happening.
He doesn't. I'm sure of that. He
And
doesn't know.
the thing is, because why? Everybody wants to keep their job. And why do everyone want to keep their job? They are politicians. They don't have a job. You in Nigeria, you see a politician. What is your job? You say, I'm a politician. Politician is not a job. It's not a job. Like in the US, right? Or in Western countries and more advanced democracies. You see people who contest for an election or who are elected into certain places or whatnot. When they get out, when their time is over,
actually living out
they
of
have
the
a career
money.
to go back to.
Yeah.
The question is, how many Nigerian politicians have a career to go back to?
Now,
Maybe few people like maybe Professor Shola Adeyeye. He can go back to the academia. Kyle Defayemi can go back to the academia. Who else?
Akeredolu.
Okay, Akeredolu have a profession to go back to. He's a lawyer. Then VP has a profession to go back to. He's a lawyer. He's also maybe deputy in RCCG. Okay, now Rochas is going to finish an 8-year tenure. He's a businessman, right? He's supposed to go back to managing his business and philanthropy and whatnot. Rochas says he's going to contest for the Senate seat in his state.
Wait, after
8 years of being a governor, he's going to contest for a Senate seat. You go back to David Mark. David Mark is a retired, I think, general or brigadier general. He served in the Senate for 12 years already. When David Mark retired, the ideal thing for someone like David Mark to have done in insane countries is to go into consultancy, security consultancy.
Yeah.
Because you're a general.
Yeah, that is fact. That is really, really like
that
is
you don't
what
even
you should
stress
be doing.
yourself.
Yeah. You
That's
already
what
have
you're supposed
like
to be doing.
a career
You already
waiting
have
for you.
a career waiting for you. Post your normal career.
Yeah. And you're going to make
just
more money
there,
and be independent of a lot of
have
things.
even a lot of more peace of mind and be able to contribute to the society. Because when you look at what is going on in the Northeast, the Boko Haram, he should be able to use his experience and expertise to advise the government and other like agencies, right?
Yeah.
So in Nigeria, one of the problems is that the people who are politicians,
they're not really thinking,
who are surrounding Buhari, they don't have a job. Their job is being there with Buhari. They live and die with Buhari. The day he leaves there is the day their job ends.
Yeah, that career is over.
They don't have a job they're going back to. So they are not telling him the truth of what the people are facing. And that's the problem with Nigeria. Okay, now it's delusional for Nigerian president. Nigeria, a country that is ranked 148 out of 180 most corrupt country in the world. 148. You want to go and advise a country that is ranked 80 out of one.
The country who actually fought
who's way better than you.
Like
a country that fought corruption like a decade or two ago. You want to go and help them fight corruption.
That is so delusional, man. Yeah, I don't know.
And
I know the Ghanaians are really laughing right now.
It's a joke.
At you.
It's actually a joke.
Man,
and I don't know. I know
on.
his speech was written by someone. And this someone who wrote his speech is delusional. because the person is deriding basically. Common sense should tell you like, wait, come on, these people are better than us.
And
We should look for other things to say we can help them with.
you saw the speech given by the Ghanaian president when he went to France or Germany or something.
Yeah.
You saw what he said.
Yeah, about
You heard
that. Yeah, we don't need help from.
Yeah,
from,
you heard
from,
that,
from
right?
Western
Can
democracies,
Buhari go
yeah.
somewhere and say the
I
same
say
thing?
that. He's out there begging for help.
Ah, Jesus.
When it comes
you
to
want to help someone who already they're standing on their own. We even comparing Nigeria to them, like to improve our electricity standard, not even to Western country, to Ghana. And then you want to advise them or you want to
there
help
was
them
a
fight.
point. There was a video.
Oh,
There's
come
a
on,
video
man.
out there
Come on.
of the Ghanaian president traveling without the normal escort, and he caught Ghanaian policemen.
Oh,
asking for
yeah. I
bribe.
saw it. I saw the video.
Can
I saw the
Buhari
video.
do that?
I saw the video.
Will he ever?
And you want
and
to
the
go
thing,
over there heading
even the
with corruption.
cabal
Yo.
around him, will they ever allow him to get out on the street and see what is happening? There are two different school of thought. That one, Buhari knows what he's doing. He's just clueless or doesn't want to do anything. And two, Buhari does not know.
No, what is it?
Initially,
I think it doesn't.
Initially, I thought Buhari does not know. But I'm starting to feel like he knows because why? There's a video circulating where he was hailing El-Rufai. He called El-Rufai the bulldozer. Why is El-Rufai the bulldozer?
Because of the teachers stuff.
He is bulldozing buildings of opposition politicians in Kaduna State.
Oh.
If we are opposition, he comes up with like a whole plan like, oh, you built this house wrongly. He's destroying the same thing he did in Abuja when he was in charge of FCT and whatnot. He's doing that to other opposition politicians, the politicians that they are APC politicians like Senator Hunkuyi, that they have different ideologies when it comes to Kaduna State because that's the senator and he's the governor. He went ahead and destroyed that one's building. He bulldozed it down. And when they met in Abuja, when he wanted to greet El-Rufai, he said the bulldozer. He greeted El-Rufai.
He knows.
So he knows that El-Rufai is doing something in Kaduna State. And he also when he greeted, I think, the governor of Benue State, he used a particular sentence or a phrase to greet him that made people feel like this guy knows what is going on, but he's just not doing anything
about it.
And guess what? Somebody said something about the Hausas in the north. They said the Hausas in the north, especially the Amajiris and the young people who are basically uneducated, they think that Buhari is poor and uncorrupt.
Oh, that's why they could relate to him. And they
do you know why they think
him.
he's corrupt?
Oh.
He's not corrupt.
Because he's not living a flamboyant life,
Yes.
like buying the flashy things
Yeah.
the other presidency are doing.
And secondly, his son got injured from a motorbike. So they feel like Buhari does not even have the money to afford a car for his son.
Oh, they're stupid.
Without knowing that the motorbike
It's even more expensive
is like
than
65 million naira.
It's expensive than 2 cars.
It's more expensive, like maybe 10 cars. They feel like, for Buhari's son to have been driving a power bike,
my God, not
that he got injured driving that, then Buhari is really poor. And for Buhari to be poor and be in that position that he is, then definitely he's not corrupt.
Oh, man, come on.
That's the highest level of brainwashing you can expect. And it's going on in the north. So don't be surprised that when the election comes in 2019,
He's going to win.
and Buhari choose
To recontest.
he's basically getting the northeast.
For sure.
99%.
100%. Like 100%.
He's getting
because,
because
who is coming out?
People have been brainwashed.
Who's even opposing him from
We don't know. Somehow we hear about our General Abdul Salam. Sometimes we hear about Atiku.
Does Atiku even have a party?
He moved back to PDP,
but they're not accepting the nomination.
The thing is,
it's not automatic.
It's already like a year to the election, and we don't even have a path as to what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So just imagine the kind of state that we are. Because right now, we have Fela Durotoye, we have Adamu Garba, and all sort of names. Then you have people who are talking about Donald Duke, and Donald Duke has not announced. Then we have maybe Raymond Dokbesi, And the thing is, these people, right? Nobody's really serious and really come out that, okay, let me start campaigning.
Yeah, and
And it's already 1 year to the election.
For sure, Buhari is coming back. He's recontesting and is
Because
winning.
if
for
he's
sure.
not recontesting, he would have said it. Now people within the party will already
Well,
start
decide, yeah,
like
choosing who's coming
manipulations
out.
and everything
Yeah.
on who's going to
Yeah.
come up.
Yeah,
So
He's staying.
just to go back, like
easy.
we are corrupt.
So much.
A country
man.
where people animals are swallowing up money.
Is that even the case?
Is that-
We should be using like triple, like 50
The thing is-
scholarship, both of us.
Exactly, right? That we basically can't find anything. And this scholarship, it exists. But it's just within within the kids of these people who are just
I mean, you should be
ruining
entitled
the
to
country.
scholarship from Benin, Ondo State, Ondo State, not even one place.
Yeah.
Ayetoro.
And then the Osopa deck.
Everywhere, it's
So
like,
many scholarships
damn.
are going around, but you really have to know people to actually get in there.
But you know what is going on? My dad, elder brother, once told me, you know what? Your dad chose to stay in Israel. He doesn't come to meetings. You guys doesn't deserve anything. And everything comes to him.
So it's a trade-off between,
And
do you really want to do that?
he doesn't give to anybody. You know
Yeah.
how? They just say that shit out.
Yeah, they usually sell it. They usually sell it out. They usually sell it out
Like,
to the highest
no,
bidder.
No,
So
come on.
there is basically no justice as to how this.
And the
things are done.
scholarship supposed to be for everybody. We are
Yep.
entitled to like at least 2 scholarship. Like, but man, it's just so
the country is
so
fucked.
bad. Man. The
The
country
country
is
is really
so bad right now.
So just to piggyback to what we're saying about corruption, right? I just feel like after that whole announcement or that speech, the Ghanaians would just go back to their chambers and start to laugh.
Laugh at him, man.
Because it's really funny,
it's
man.
ridiculous,
Like,
man. How? Come
they
on,
don't
man.
need help.
You see,
You need help.
Nigerians are actually moving from Nigeria to
To Ghana.
Ghana. And before, it used to be the Ghanaians.
Ghanaians, when we had Ghana,
Yeah,
must,
Ghana
go,
must go.
the riot that
Yeah, it used to be the
same-
Ghanaians.
now it is the same people that you rejected that you are
Because
now
they-
going
yeah,
back
because
to.
they did something.
That
And
is
before
how
we
bad
used
we
to,
are
we used to
now.
provide electricity for them.
Yeah,
Even when we
that's
don't
how
have.
bad we've gotten.
We don't have one, but we
We've
used to
gotten
supply
really
electricity
bad.
to them.
Like things have gotten really bad.
And now, come on, man. I don't know. Some people are just not thinking. Is either Buhari is not thinking, or people who wrote the script, the speech,
It's the
not
speech
thinking,
writer.
or we're all just
It is
delusional.
definitely the speechwriters, and the speechwriters who are writing for him, they it's either they are blind, they are not seeing the bigger picture,
But
or they're seeing it, but they're seeing
in
a
a point.
bouquet.
In a point, like all Africans, like we're supposed to have a union African, comes together, fight the corruption, right? That's how it's supposed to be. But if you know you're corrupt, like your country is corrupt, don't say anything. Like Nigeria, we don't have anything to say to South Africans. We don't have
Yeah.
anything to say to Ghana. We don't have
We don't-
anything to say to Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco.
When Nigerians say oh we are the giant of Africa,
Which
that's
giant?
the
You're-
biggest
you're-
joke,
you're-
man.
You're a rat.
That's the
You're a
biggest
rat.
joke you
You're
can
a
ever
rat.
make,
You're a
right?
rat of Africa. You see the how is it called? The Kenyan, they're laughing at us.
Yeah,
Laughing at us.
yeah.
Because they have something going we don't have.
Yeah, definitely. Like, come on, our people go there to their country to mess it up.
Yeah.
And
they
they
have
gotta
something
talk
going.
about
We
it.
don't have.
and-
We don't
and
have.
as Nigerians too, like we felt at a point that Ghanaians were messing up our country. That's why we kicked them out.
And
But
now,
now we're the one who is going to Ghana,
they're kicking us out
and
too.
they're kicking us out. They got to do that. They got to
It's
protect
their-
their own
it's
people.
their right, man.
And
They
we have
all the
Nigerians
right.
who are going to Kenya and starting to mess the whole place up too.
Now, not
Which is-
we're going everywhere.
Yeah,
Benin
everywhere.
Repu-
Like
Benin Republic.
you go everywhere. and
Cotonou, everywhere. It's like
even
messing
when you
everywhere
go to
up.
like little small islands and countries like Suriname
We're
in the
all
far
over
south
there.
America, you hear the things that Nigerians are doing there, and you be like, how the fuck did Nigeria ever find a way to
to get here.
to a
We're
country of 500k people?
with the Chinese of Africa, man.
Everywhere, and it's okay to be everywhere, but
Or
not
just
messing it up for the
just
people
get your
who
act
own their
together,
land.
yeah.
Like,
Just get your
you
act
can't go
together,
into
just-
someone's house and start to mess it up and you expect to be welcomed. You get kicked out of the door.
country is
It's just
so-
like what Chinese are coming to Thailand to do.
to do. I'm not
That
going to Thailand.
they're not
They're going
like-
everywhere to do
exactly,
the same
like-
thing, though.
Thai people don't have problems with Chinese. There's similarities in culture, and some of the Thai people are like descendant or Chinese
of Chinese,
descendant.
yeah,
They have Chinese heritage. It's okay, but when you come and you start to flout the rules of the country and you start to behave unruly, then that's where Thai people have problems with you.
Yeah.
And not just Thai people alone, the foreigners here. People like me,
Everywhere,
when I see some
yeah.
of the things that the Chinese do, I'm like
How
come on,
do you
are you
do this?
uncultured or what?
Have you okay? This happens in a mall, shopping mall, and I saw group of Chinese just spitting on the fucking floor. I'm like,
How can you be so dirty and disgusting?
come on, don't do this, please. No,
And the
don't do
thing
this.
is, I feel like when it comes to the outrage, we all feel the same way. Whether Thai, non-Thai, black, white, everything, we feel the same way towards the ways Chinese tourists are acting in Thailand. So that's the same thing too when you compare it to Nigerians, going to
yeah,
other
that is
countries
how
to mess it
people are
up.
feeling about
That's how
us.
people are feeling too.
That's why
We need to do better.
Yeah, that is why most of us, some of us, are really putting ourselves in check.
Yeah.
Like
we need
us
to do
here,
better.
we always like mind our things, like we mind our
Yep.
business. We always like, and we see people coming to us. You guys are the like.
Why are you so
Why
different?
it's so different?
I
Your
heard that
brothers are
so
like-
many times. It's so cliched
common.
now.
It's so
It's so
common to me,
cliched. Like
because we always put ourselves in check.
you
have
just
to
get
do
to
what's-
that point. You have to act civilized, like a normal human being should act, or a
Just so-
civilized
just so
human being,
ridiculous, man.
educated
Just so-
person
so
should act.
ridiculous.
So Nigerians need to do better, especially
We
when,
really need to do
because
better.
we
I
are at
think
this point where the number of Nigerians getting out of the country is increasing
Every day.
every
Yeah,
day.
every day.
Because people just want better opportunities, and if they see it out there, they want to go. It's good, like it's part of globalization.
I don't have problem with Nigerians traveling
Yeah.
and doing the right thing. Go look
That's-
for job.
yeah.
Hustle. Do whatever you want to do. At least
Make
don't
a good
put
name.
Don't bring insult to the country.
country,
Or
exactly.
to the people who are
Yeah.
actually doing the right thing. Because most of the problem we're facing right here in this country is because of some bad apples. Like,
Yeah.
and just few of
That
them. not even-
ruins it for everyone
just
else.
Few
Yeah.
of them.
You know, when
Just
I read
few.
stories, when I read
Just
stories
few.
online of the things Nigerians are doing, let's not even go to like entertainment or pop culture. Like maybe beginning of the year or end of last year, I read about a guy from Portland, Oregon, US, who was talking about like he got operated, he went for a surgery, and the doctor was a Nigerian, and he's really proud, and he shared his story. He got so many retweets, and he got like lots of like. And Nigerians were proud that there is a Nigerian doctor in Portland who's making the country proud.
Oh wait, but I told you about this. A girl, the mom and like the family, they're from Nigeria, the Yorubas. She couldn't speak Yoruba, so she was talking to moms. The only time I hear so much people speaking Yoruba is either at home or in the hospital.
Yeah, because there are a lot of
It's like-
Nigerian
like there are
nurses
nurses
and
there.
whatnot. It's because they want better opportunities and they're hardworking. And that's how they feel like they can just do their thing.
that is one of the problems I have in this country as well. Like the thing is, like if you give us the chance of proving ourselves, we're going to impress you.
Definitely.
Nigerians are hard working individuals.
Definitely. Because
Although some of us are doing bad things, but they are really hard working. When
Yeah.
Nigerians want to do something, they get it done.
yeah,
They get it
especially
done.
when there's some sort of money coming from
Yes,
it.
financial reward coming from
Coming
it.
from it,
Yo,
because
bro,
everybody
we
just
get-
want
we get
money
shit
and-
done. Yeah,
Yeah,
Nigerians really get things
exactly.
done.
And when you come to talk about entertainment and you talk about literature and pop culture, then you have a lot of Nigerians, Wale, Jidena, you have Chimamanda Adichie.
so much.
So
You can't even,
much. You
can't
can't
even count a lot of
Exactly.
them. Like in sport as well. In sport, in the
Then-
UK, representing another countries. Like we're
Yeah.
all over the world representing other countries.
There are
so-
opportunities out there in other countries to explore, but at least do it by being law abiding.
Abiding,
That's just it.
That's just the rule. That's just
So
the
it's
fact.
that simple.
And it will make it easier for people who wants to come. And most of the reason in this country where they will always prefer the mixed Western baby over the black or Western mixed blood is always because they always have this idea that the Westerners always come here to do the good thing, even when
Yeah.
they are low-key doing bad things.
Yeah,
They never get
pedophilia
crucified
and
for that.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never get crucified for that shit because they have the credit this impression
The
that
impression that
we're
yeah,
here for good, right? But the
yeah,
thing is, as soon as you're black, first of all, they all people already have um this idea that you are of no good.
yep,
They always want to find the bad thing. So and if you fall for that and you just do the bad thing, that means you are of no good.
yeah,
That's why you have to work extra hard to like you don't have to fall for that trap because the trap is you are no good.
yeah.
And the only thing you can make yourself be good is to be good.
That's why I said like you have to try extra hard to prove
You have to prove a lot of
one,
people
the odds is already stacked against you
against
because
you.
you're black. Then secondly, you're Nigerian. That even makes it worse. Because then you'll be like, oh,
it's
just
double
look at
crime.
when you read the article, right, where a guy who's probably the Congolese guy in the article was talking about
Oh yes,
that
how they take everybody,
they
every
said
black is
every
Nigerians.
black is Nigerian that you're not good, you're not good. Yeah, it happens too. That's I believe his story because that's the first
That's
impression
fact.
that
That's fact.
you're not
You
good.
remember when I was going back home to get a new passport, right?
Yeah.
I was okay. I'm leaving Thailand. I'm going back to my country,
Yeah.
right? I got stopped, searched, check all my information. They actually check the system and they know, oh, you'll be studying for so year. You started this so year, and they checked that. I was going back home.
So what's the point? What's the need for all of that?
I was going back home. I was going back to my country where I came from. And even when we were going to Europe, we don't go through those processes.
Yeah.
But that day I was going back home. I wasn't coming into Thailand. I was going back home. So they're trying to check maybe he already committed crime. Why is he leaving or
Yeah.
something?
So
like
you
that.
don't want us to leave?
Come on.
Like,
man.
you don't give us
Like, this
jobs?
is ridiculous, man.
You don't let us live in
I'm
peace
going
and
back
you
home
still
to
don't
check-
want us to
to get
leave?
new passport. I come back in a few days. And I was like, oh, check everything. Oh, Bangkok University, this place, NIT before. Like, okay. 20 minutes, okay. You're free to go. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
just imagine that.
Just be Nigerian.
So
man.
so that's one of the problems, especially when you it's also one of the issues in the sense that when you have a girlfriend or a partner who's not black, who's not Nigerian, who's interracial, and they start to see the issues you go through, it's also a problem for them
Yeah,
because
okay.
now everything you go through, they have to also expect there's a form of scrutiny. Like
In
you're going
it.
through the airport,
Yeah.
it will be easier for them to go through, but then
still, they
for
have
you
to
it
wait
is
for
not.
you. Yeah. I was talking to this girl, some girl last night. She was like asking me, do you have baby already back home? I was like, are you asking me this because of this cliche belief that all Africans
Have a
here already
wife
have
and
a
a
wife
kid
and
back
kid
home.
back home? And I just no, she's like no, she didn't even know about that. She was just asking us like this is like unusual.
Yeah,
It's like, no.
How's that a question to ask? It's just
No.
like asking the person who's working at you and you're on a date with her and the person and you're like, how much do you earn?
And I was like,
Like,
no, this is
duh.
no. And when she asked that question, I was like, I just gave her straight, yo. Is it because of this thing that you guys have
Yeah,
been saying
like
all
there's this
everywhere?
stereotype. So
Stereotype
why are you
going on?
feeding into it?
And then she now asked, is that really true? I was like, that is no. Most of the Nigerians they are still single and they
Yeah.
don't even have wife or baby back home. Like most of Africans living here too.
Yeah.
It's not a thing. How many people want to?
I don't know. Like,
Come on, man.
I'm single as fuck. I don't have babies, man. There's
I
no
was
way
like,
I'm making
like
a baby
zero.
and I'm
I'm
living
like-
thousands of miles away from my
way.
kid. Like,
No way.
I wasn't
It's not
brought up that
happening.
way.
No,
So
it's not happening.
it's not happening.
When I'm
man.
ready to settle down, it's gonna be like,
Yeah.
this is where we're settling down. This is
Yeah.
where we are. This is where we are. I'm not like,
not
you're not stepping away 2 hours, like say like I have to travel 2 hours
2
to
hours
catch up with
before I
it.
see
No,
my
no,
kid. Like,
it's not
no.
happening. It's not happening. Never. For those of you who always think
It's funny, right? Like someone was saying, like, oh, I saw this meme out there, like, oh, so many of y'all have seen Black Panther, right? The movie, but you have not seen your kid in like 5 years or 2 years, because of baby mama drama and child support and shit. And it's true, there are a lot of niggas out there who've not seen their kid in 2-3
I was
years,
actually-
but they've seen Black Panther.
Yeah, like I was actually thinking about this yesterday. That okay, I don't know which news I was. There's this famous rapper that is going to jail because he failed to pay
Child support.
child support for few months. And I was thinking, okay, if he failed to pay for a few months and you sending him to jail,
Does that solve the problem?
will he will he be able to
pay
pay
it
the
in
jail?
jail? So that's the problem.
I was on my bed thinking about this. Like
Yeah.
this almost got me fucked up. I was like, why are you doing this?
Because the system is made. It's just one of the things I heard. I was listening today.
And then I was thinking that the baby mama, why are you doing this to the child? You're not getting paid anyway. Why can't you just
there's just an easy
come
path
on.
to prison, but there's no easy path to high school or college.
the
because
pipe-
does that solve the
prison
problem?
pipeline is like it's big as fuck. That
Yeah,
doesn't solve
it doesn't solve
anything.
the problem.
You sending him to jail. The child is not getting child support.
He's
There's-
not seeing the dad,
the
or
dad.
then the record is already there, like in the criminal record. So there needs to be a social justice reform.
come on.
Not just in the US, but in everywhere, even in
everywhere.
Nigeria too. Like justice reform in the criminal record, criminal justice reform, like in Nigeria, in the sense that you have thousands of Nigerians awaiting trial.
prisoner that waiting trial for years.
And the thing is, some of them committed like minor offenses where they should not even be awaiting trial.
At all.
One. And two, some of them are awaiting trial for the number of years that they would not even serve when they are sentenced.
Yes.
Imagine
Now,
someone
they have
who's
been
been
there like 10
awaiting
years.
trial for like maybe 4 or 5 years, and the
And you send
sentence
them for
would have
1
been 1
year.
year. So when finally they appear before a judge and the case is decided, it'll be like, this person already served the time is already.
let him go.
So just let him go. So our prisons are so congested that if you actually look out, now this is something I learned recently also, that one of the problem with prosecutors or attorneys, like government attorneys, is that they are not trying to punish someone who's wrong. All they're trying to do is secure conviction. That they send someone to jail. They don't care if the person being
is
sent to jail is right or wrong.
right.
That's why if you go to these detention centers and the prisons, right, you see thousands of innocent people there. Now you imagine, like,
That really makes sense.
how is this actually there? Because we have failed them. It's not the government. It's the people who's the government. Government does not exist in a vacuum. It is us, the people, who is the government, right? So we have actually failed those people as a people and a government. Because there are a lot of people who are actually innocent. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
But
everywhere.
prosecutors want to send them to jail. They don't care if they are actually...
It's like they have like a target.
Yeah, a quota, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
they have
this
to
is the
meet-
number of
yeah.
convictions I've secured. So that determines like your promotion, or that determines how good you are. So they really don't care about sending the bad guys to jail. They just care about, okay, we have someone to send to jail. So as long as there's someone occupying that space.
And you know how prison pipeline is as well. You know,
It's so
like,
wide, like you
it's like
said,
most
right?
of the prison is like is owned by
Yeah, corporations, but it's quite different in Nigeria, right? Because it's owned by the Nigerian government, and then you have the Nigerian government lying that each prisoner is fed with, I think 14,000 naira a day.
40,000.
Like,
Yeah, we talked about this
If
in
that's
one of
true,
our episodes. Like,
bro,
this
I
is
want to go to a
crazy.
Nigerian prison, man. 14,000 naira is like 1,400 baht, Thai baht,
Day.
a day. Do you
Just-
know what I will eat with that? I'll have breakfast, lunch, and dinner at
dinner.
Wine Connection. Like
I still
first,
drink nice wine.
You know, first I will go for a buffet at the Four Seasons Hotel. I'll have that for like 450 baht. Then I'll still have like 950 left. I'll go to Wine Connection. I'll have a real good lunch with a wine, with a glass of wine. Then I'll still
500
have enough money to go for dinner.
And you still have, like the chicken.
That is
I
such a
swear.
lie. Yeah. And
Lord,
then on Mondays
chicken.
and Thursdays,
Go to
or what,
Sway.
I'll go to Sway.
I'll
have really good chicken wings, and I'll still have a beer, like buy one get one free. So I'll live comfortably, man, off of that. So the government is actually not transparent and sincere with their estimations, because I bet you,
that is just so stupid. This
if
is
the
not,
government
like, just
if
so
the government
stupid.
is feeding Nigerians or prison inmates with 14,000 naira or even 11,000 naira daily, a lot of Nigerians would rather be there. Do you know how many people live off of 200 naira daily?
It's like we're moving. Yo, no.
Everybody is just relocating to the prison.
Free
like,
rent,
free rent, you get to eat.
free food, easy money.
Because at the end of the day, survival is the first instinct of a man, right?
Oh, man.
So being able to eat and live in peace is definitely one of the things.
Nigerian government are just so stupid. Like,
Man,
they're just
everything
so
is
stupid.
going wrong there.
We're just so stupid, man. I don't know. And the government, like, I don't
It's
know.
even like a circle in the sense that the youths fight each other, right? The youths fight each other over who's the next president, who's this, who's that. But the rich people, the bourgeois,
People
they
don't
are
really
friends.
give a shit about you. Like, people who you fight for.
Otedola is friends with Adenuga.
Ah,
Adenuga is friend with Dangote. Dangote is friend with Alakija. Alakija is friend with Jim Ovia. Jim Ovia is friend with Ambode. Ambode is boy to Tinumbu. Tinumbu is friends with Oyegun. Oyegun is friends with Buhari. So there is a clique because they have the same interest of just making each other happy, right?
Yeah.
But then when it comes to us, when it's time for elections, we have different ideological beliefs. So we start to fight each other because it's an election cycle, right? Because we have different candidates we want. But essentially, this candidate does not want us. They just only care about their friends
They don't give a shit
and what
about
they
us.
can gain being out there. So now, what happens to us? The youth, we are fighting each other.
You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do during this upcoming election? I'm going to call everybody I know back home. I can't even do that. All my friends are politicians already.
Yeah. And so what do?
There's nothing I can do, man. It's not just going to work.
I'm glad,
No, I'm not just...
I didn't
there's
fight
nothing, man.
anybody, like when
There's
Buhari
nothing.
wanted to get in.
There's
I
nothing I
told
can do.
my friend Howell is a strong PDP guy. I told him, like, Jonathan have had like 6 years or 7 years as a president. He has failed us. The only lesson we can learn from Jonathan is the fact that a minority can be president of Nigeria.
Yes.
An Ijaw man, a thief man, a Nupe man will not say, oh, I'm not one of the three or a big tribes
Right.
that I cannot be president. That's the lesson we take away from Jonathan. That's it. That's just it. Like, we need to move on to the next person. That we need to go to Buhari. Let's try him. Yeah. Buhari has failed. I didn't lose sweat over him becoming president. Like, because I did not lose any of my friends. I only stated my point and I got away with it because who he becomes president does not directly affect me, but indirectly it affects me because my family is back home, right?
Either. Like the thing is, like, I don't really,
So-
like, you know, I don't really get involved in this political discussion because
Yeah.
I know I don't have, my way is not just right here, right? Before I was thinking of maybe after this master, after my second master on cybersecurity, maybe I was asking about like how, like, what is the process of becoming like EFCC or like secret agency in Nigeria?
You could
Like,
definitely just work with one of the campaigns. If there's a campaign out there that you feel like you believe in the ideology, you could actually work with the campaign.
yeah,
to
that's
help
what I
them
want to know.
secure.
But
And from there, you just move up the hierarchy.
But the problem is, do you know those people doesn't have special skills and they don't undergo any special training?
Mm-hmm.
So now you want me to go over there with my...
If
A lot of
everything
degrees in
you're
IT
saying,
and
it's just gonna be like
They don't give a
Kilele,
shit about
so-
you. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the point. No matter how
Kilele,
good,
so-
how professional you are, or how your level is expertise,
But,
like, they
but the
don't
thing
really
is-
care.
But the thing is, take it or leave it. There's always going to be that person who's ready to feel like there's an intelligent voice in the room.
Yeah.
Even though if everybody doesn't buy into it,
the point is, that person
who
is
buys
that,
into
yeah,
it
is
might
that
actually
person
not have the
in the
core.
power. It's like it has the power or the ability to really like say, let's
listen to
him.
this person. Yeah. And the thing is, we also need to move from this culture of ballot box snatching. Because a lot of politicians feels like they live and die by ballot box snatching, not by the electoral votes that really count or how they run their campaign. Because in advanced countries, right, you think about how you secure your campaign office, like from cyber attacks and leaking
You
of
don't even
information.
have any emails or just create random Facebook posts.
Everybody's just doing whatever it is they want. But basically, I have no dog in the fight. I'm not losing sleep over anybody.
I don't know which years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, one of Nigerian agency website was hacked.
Nigerian army has been hacked. The federal government, her website has been
And
hacked.
I checked the website. I was like, "Yo,
Yeah,
man,
you sent it
come
to
on,
me. That was
come
back
on."
in like 2014 or
Yeah.
2015.
This is like,
Yeah.
come on.
It
And
was like Nigerian Cyber Army or whatever they called themselves. The group that hacked it.
you know what's to happen, and I really find out those group. Those guys are actually Indonesia.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
So,
easy
yeah.
for external body to just like come
To
inside
just
us, they
deface the
deface
website
the
and
website.
just
That's
gain
like
control and whatnot.
That techniques is like 20 years ago.
So basically, when it comes to 2019, I'm not really fighting anyone. I'm just more concerned that we have to know that we have a common enemy, and the common enemy in this case is the upper class,
The government,
the politicians. These are the people who care about themselves.
Those
So
are-
we
those
are the
people
ones who are
you-
suffering. So we don't have to fight
you
each other.
unite together,
We
like
need to
that guy
unite,
said.
like that guy said, like and fight poverty because those guys up there, the bourgeois class, are the cause of our poverty. Because there's a lot of cronyism that is going on. Like your cronies, your friends,
so much,
they
man.
benefit from whatever comes.
And right now the election is coming up. All the friends back home,
Yeah.
they're getting prepared. They're going to support. Like the problem I have with most of my friends back in Ondo State is like, I don't want you to go into politicians. Like I don't want you to go into politics. I don't want you to become a politician. But there's nothing you can tell them because they
Yeah.
know during the election that is how they make so
They
much
make
money.
a level. Okay, now I just want to point this out.
have to
I feel-
wait.
I feel like it's hypocrisy, right? And it's very ambivalent. This is Osha.
That is my
Adekunle
Yeah.
Orishamoluwa.
yes. That is my friend.
Okay.
That is my homeboy.
Within the first time, I barely go to Facebook, so I went. I saw him. He was criticizing Kolade Akinjo. Then the next 2-3 days, he's praising Kolade Akinjo. Then I
That's
was
just
like,
typical
wait.
political
I was like,
move.
what?
You
Like,
see people today, they're
How do
APC,
you-
tomorrow they're PDP.
how do you quickly switch within 72 hours of criticizing
Yeah,
and lambasting a guy to
you told
praising
me
him?
about that.
And then
Like-
one person within the comment section I said like, oh, I guess they've reached out to you with your own money now. That's why you. And I feel like that's legit.
That is legit. That's
now,
right.
now is that the youth we actually want to
Build
give
the
our
future
country
around.
to? Is that the youth that we expect?
That can't even,
To
they
lead
can't
our
even
country.
stay by their own
And
statement. Was like,
that's someone I know very well. I know
that is
closely.
my friend.
So-
come on, man.
I have to call that out. So then I just started to think like, it's not just that; it's everywhere. Okay, look at Reno Omokri.
Oh, I don't want to. I don't know why. I
Dude,
hate
just
that.
so many
I don't
examples.
know. I don't know
That's
why I
why.
hate that guy so much.
That's
but
why I have so
I don't
much
have-
given up on
I
the,
don't have love
on the
for
Nigerian
Reno.
project.
I don't have any
That
single love
we
for
may
Reno.
probably need a new set of youth,
Oh.
another generation to help Nigeria. But my generation is going to fail Nigeria, and that's a bold statement to talk
think
about.
so.
My generation is going to fail Nigeria. Maybe the generation coming behind me will help the country.
But the point, like the thing is, I think the revolution has to start from a generation. Maybe if our generation starts the movement, the coming generation will inherit the movement.
How do
They will
you
build
start
on
the-
that.
the-
But
the
that is the
movement?
problem.
Because-
if we don't start no movement right now,
It is the people within the movement who are going to subvert
the
the
coming
movement.
generation will meet us the same way.
But they
Nothing
might
is
be
gonna
more
change.
aggressive
In what way?
in changing the country. Because the thing
How
is,
aggressive
the thing is,
are
our
we
parents,
right now to
our
change?
parents are hopeful and optimistic that we will change.
What happened?
We also we don't have
failed-
to be
we failed them.
pessimistic.
We
We
failed
failed
them.
them.
How-
I believe we failed them. Even though there are people who are still optimistic that we have not failed.
We failed them.
But
We
there's so
totally
many
failed them.
examples that are bound around us that shows that we are failing our parents and we're going to fail them. And I'm just being optimistic too that you never know. There might just be that radical leader that comes. And
Maybe.
you just never know. There might just be that change. Because
just
even,
hope so, man.
even
Let's
when you
just
look
hope
at
so.
the wave of change around the world that is blowing around, it's not getting to us. It's just like we are in our own zone whereby this whole wave of change, of social change, is not even getting to us. And we have a lot of Nigerians online. We have a lot of our people on Twitter, on Facebook, and all the social medias. And we expect it to actually be the starting ground for this. Okay, now, just to piggyback also to something we've been talking about on this show for a while, the End SARS campaign.
Oh,
It's actually died down.
oh, really?
Nobody's talking about it again.
Yeah,
but our youth getting harassed out there in the street. Yes,
Still going. Yeah,
people are getting
still
harassed.
Going, yeah. I saw a news
But
that like,
everybody stopped the
those
advocacy.
guys, the SARS guys, they went to this. Actually the tuk driver.
The Marwa,
Marwa, yeah,
Keke
Marwa,
Napep.
they're actually protesting against.
Yeah, because
Because
their
they
own
just come to
case,
their park and
the
just
the
like-
case of the Marwa guys is just pure case of extortion of maybe 50 naira every day, right?
Oh.
Which amounts to a lot of money. But then the guys who are getting harassed is like, you get harassed, even if a nude picture or video is seen on your phone, then they start to like be like, oh, where did you get it? How is that any of your fucking business? You start to like intrude into people's privacy. And minus that, they ask for your ID, you ID yourself, they change the story that you're a cultist. And they threaten to shoot you. And for you, if you're someone who doesn't really have that financial backing or that ability to actually argue your case, you might probably get shot. And they can actually easily make a case against you that, oh, he's an armed robber. And if your family does not have the ability to get an attorney to actually fight the case, then the person probably, it's gone.
You're gone.
These things are still happening. The SARS officers are still harassing Nigerians every day. And I'm even surprised this thing extends to even places like Makurdi in Benue State. Yeah.
That far.
So that far. It happens in Abuja, it happens in Lagos, it happens in Akure, it happens
Delta
in
State.
Delta, it happens in Osun. And it reduced in Osun because they killed a student of Osun State University, Oshogbo.
Oh, okay.
During last year or maybe 2015. So it kind of reduced a little bit because the commissioner of police actually disbanded or warned them or whatnot. This thing is still happening to the youths. The youths are the one targeted, but the advocacy has stopped. But since our first episode, we are still talking about the End SARS. This is our 12th episode. We are still talking about it. We've never stopped talking about it. We are directly not affected by this, but we are Nigerians. We empathize with people.
Monks.
Yeah, we empathize
still
with people
going
who are
on.
actually on the receiving end of this.
And the government is there trying to help
Ghana
to fight
a
corruption.
country that doesn't have this level of brutality. Now, just to piggyback to what I'm saying about the youth, that now a problem that really attacks you, that you face, especially when you want to get out of your home, there's that paranoia that, oh, will I meet a SARS officer on the street today? Will I have to pay the money I don't have? Will I have to call people for help? But they've stopped talking about it. Nobody's talking about it anymore. And that's a problem that our youth have. That everybody the momentum just dies. Okay, look at the Arab Spring, right? The Arab Spring and the social change. It just started where everybody just gathered like, okay, the president has to go. The president was kicked out. Then the next guy who got in through the Muslim Brotherhood has to go. Same thing happened. And then governments within the Middle East were starting to get afraid. But can Nigerian youths actually effect a change? Everybody could fear, say, soldier go shoot me.
Do we even have youth?
So that's why I feel like the youth have failed. Because even a problem that personally affects you, you cannot unite and find a solution to it.
You know one thing about Nigerians, right? You know what I figure about Nigeria? We are in a way troublesome. Only if there's money involved.
Yep.
If we have, I'm not advocating for this. If you have some external body, like the way they are funding Boko Haram,
yeah,
and they are funding some guys to fight the government, right? The government will be out in 2 days.
Yeah.
Nigerian don't.
Yeah,
we don't want to die without money.
Yeah.
If there's huge amount of money involved, trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me, the government will be out.
Yeah.
Nigeria doesn't. We don't die if money is not involved. We don't die for common sense.
Yeah. people are not really ready to die for what they believe or
Guys,
try to die
the point
to
is,
make the country
do we
better.
okay. Imagine our own brother who has been waiting for an appointment for years,
Yep.
waiting for an appointment, even when he rightly deserved
Deserve it.
they deserve that, but he did just all
Yeah.
promise, and I believe he even spent his own money
Yeah.
to even campaign for these people just so that he can change his own stories and
Yeah.
things like that. But it's not coming. They left him frustrated.
Yeah.
Now I have to settle for less.
So it is what it is, That's why I just feel like this country, the country Nigeria really needs the next generation for we to actually rise to the level that our parents have always thought we can be as a nation. So with that being said,
Oh, be a great time. We spent
yeah,
almost,
we've actually talked about a lot of
almost
things,
two.
and I'm
I
really
think we
glad.
actually covered like last week.
Yeah,
So-
we talked about
Yeah.
entertainment, right? We talked about
Yeah,
corruption. We talked
corruption.
about broke shaming. We talked about social issue,
Issues,
racism,
Yeah.
and then
We covered
yeah,
pretty a lot of things. So I think this
yeah,
episode is good.
yeah.
It's been great so far.
Shout out to all the fans that've been listening to us in East Africa. Like,
yeah,
we
though,
love
I don't
you.
know where.
Asante Sana.
To- I was trying to ask you, like, are you still bringing the Eastern African girl? We really have to make that happen.
What East African? Oh yeah. We need to bring an East
We
African
need a
girl on the
guest.
show.
Yeah, we just need a
for
guest
sure.
to come over.
For
yeah.
sure, just to
relate to the fan because
to
as
the fan
we've
base, right?
checked, and most of our core fan base is from the East
Yes,
Africans.
from East Africa. Like so much love, man.
Yeah.
Keep-
So thank
keep
you guys.
supporting,
Keep supporting us. Keep watching.
And we're really gonna find like stuff that's also relevant to you guys to talk
Yeah.
about. Like,
And if you guys know where we can get we can get the some organic news about the country, like things that is pumping.
Yeah,
things that's
that we
going
can
on.
actually talk
First-hand,
about, like-
first-hand information. That is all we need.
yeah,
First-hand
that
information.
we can actually talk
Talk about
right?
it. So we all
So definitely.
we're
Yeah.
good.
So I saw something too about there was the Rwanda genocide, right?
Oh yeah.
Where then there was that whole there's actually a Rwandan girl too at my uni, right? She's also in grad school.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
Now?
a really nice girl. Yeah. I've known her for like
talk to her.
yeah, I've known her for like 6 to 7 months. Now she's a really nice girl. Like
Nice
we
girl.
always thought just catch up and see what's going on like with school and whatnot. So just to talk about why I'm talking about this is because someone just posted like I think on Twitter like because during the genocide, right? It was the Tutsis and the Hutus, right?
Yeah.
So it was more of a tribal war that
war,
just
yeah.
led into
Just
the
like
genocide.
the Ijon, like
Yeah. So it's more on a national base, right? So there's that tribalism as to because there was a more dominant group in power.
Oh.
So there was that hegemony. So now a Rwandan guy is like saying that I'm Tutsi. I also used to see myself as Tutsi before, but now I see myself as Rwandan because
okay.
the country is now more united than ever before.
And I also saw a photo. Like I don't trust that photo. The president and the first lady working with our security in the street.
Oh yeah. The person is actually a really affable guy too
Yeah.
because he's always on the street and the
Yeah.
wife is also beautiful and
Yeah,
they're both
it's
tall
like
too and their
both
daughter is
working,
really
yeah.
tall. Like
Yes.
I like their
Working
first
with our
family.
security, yeah.
Yeah, I love
So
their
that's
first
quite
family.
impressive. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, if this is real, this is like, this
I
is
love
some,
the first family out there.
some
Like
next
yeah.
level things,
So I think that also goes a long way too. Like that's a lesson to learn because if that guy who's an Uber driver who says he used to see himself as a Tutsi, but now
as
with
a
the way the
Rwandan.
country has changed and the government, he sees himself
As a
as a
Rwandan.
Rwandan. Now he doesn't see things
You don't
from
see
the ethnical line.
Yeah.
That also needs to be applicable to Nigeria too, where I don't see myself as a Yoruba man. The Igbo man doesn't see himself as a Yoruba.
Igbo.
The Hausa woman doesn't see herself as a Hausa. We see ourselves as Nigerians.
Nigerian.
The same thing goes also to South Africa too, where you have the Zulus and the
Zulu,
Xhosas
the
and whatnot.
this and the
So
colored
yeah,
and the black.
and that goes to like there's
Rainbow
usually
shit.
that ratio, that ethnic bias too. That
But-
I'm Zulu, I'm a warrior. Then I'm Xhosa, I'm more intelligent because I've been reading like Trevor Noah's book recently, and I can relate. I think I'm going to talk about it like
We
on
should
the next
really
episode.
talk
Like,
about it.
I'll
because
be
the same-
done reading
the
the
same-
book next
The same
week.
thing happens to Yoruba too. We always think the Yorubas are the more
More
educated,
intellectual, yeah,
intellectual
yeah,
group.
and then the Igbos are more commercial, entrepreneurial. The Hausas are more into like farming and
this is
animal
really that's
grazing.
happening.
Yeah, and I could relate to a lot of the stuff that Trevor Noah was actually trying to like depict in the book, and it was really interesting.
Wait, the new one or the
Born a Crime.
one he wrote about his mom?
Yeah, he basically wrote about his childhood.
The childhood, right?
Yeah. So the
That
mom
was last year, right?
Yeah, it was last year. Just
How did you get it?
I bought it in it's in bookshop in Thailand. Duh.
Wait, where? Emporium?
Kinokuniya. Any of the Kinokuniya
Yes, Kinokuniya.
outlets. It's one of the leading bookstores in Bangkok, right? Then there's also Asian Books. So I went shopping for books like
Asian book doesn't
recently.
have shit.
No, Kinokuniya has lots of books. I actually went searching for Nathan John's Born on a Tuesday. Nathan John is a Nigerian writer.
There used to be. There used
Like
to
writer.
be.
So I saw lots
There
of
used to be
books.
this bookstore in Emporium,
Okay.
Prompong. This is big ass bookstore.
Oh yeah, I bought at M Quartier, which is opposite
That is Emporium, yeah. It used
Yeah,
to be like
opposite
this,
Emporium.
it was
So I
like,
don't know. Probably it's Kinokuniya
maybe,
who was
yeah,
there,
maybe
but
they just
moved
move
to
it. Yeah,
'Cause
probably
I've
they
not
just
seen
moved. Used to be like
Kinokuniya
I think it used
at
to be in the
Emporium.
Emporium. Before,
So
in Emporium
they
before,
have
yeah.
really like large stock of books from
Yeah,
different
probably, I'll
genres
probably
to
check them-
literature,
check them
technology,
out, yeah.
everything.
I
So
used
that
to
was
buy
where I
most of
saw
my
the
IT
China,
books
the one
there.
I posted in the group, like Chimamanda Adichie and Chinua Achebe. Their books, I saw it there. Trevor Noah. Then I need to actually go pick up one once I'm
I'll probably go there.
Exit West by Mosin or whatnot.
Yeah, I'll probably
So
go
there are a
now,
lot
I'll
of
go
books
there
there.
next.
So
Yeah,
I just
this
like,
week to
okay,
get
let me
some.
get this Trevor Noah and read. And it's been
It's actually
interesting. So
good.
when
Yeah, I
I'm
was
done-
like, I remember I think last year or 2 years. The book was out 2 years ago. Because I remember I was playing football with this guy, and he was like, this Indian guy. Like he pre-ordered the book.
oh, okay.
Actually, the book has been out
Yeah,
like
but
2000
yeah,
now.
it
16.
came out to 2017 though, but it's kind of
2017?
copyrighted 2016 because
Oh,
you could
okay, yeah.
pre-order
Because he
then.
pre-ordered then.
Yeah, but
So that
it's
was like
really
late
good, like,
2016. That was like late
yeah.
2016.
So it just came out like early 2017. So yeah, it's been fun reading it. So I'll probably talk about it like next. Because then,
For sure.
then I started to like learn more about the Zulus and the
Yeah,
Tosa because
yeah.
his mom is Tosa, right?
Yeah,
So yeah,
that is great. I think we should
and
really
true.
talk about it.
And also, Kendrick referenced the Zulu and the Tosas, right?
Oh
Like-
yeah. Go to war. Or
Yeah,
yeah.
the Zulu and Tosa want to
They
go
wanna
to
go to
war.
war, yeah.
Two tribal armies
Yeah,
that
they-
want to build, and then they want to destroy.
You see
and
how now-
that came into the struggle for apartheid is also in the book.
Oh man, and the thing is, like, I feel like now most of the countries, Americans, right, the Black African Americans, started learning so much about African that
Yeah.
most of we African doesn't
Don't
even know.
even know. Yeah.
I know what's so funny. This guy that the lead actor in Black Panther, I
Yeah.
watched one of his interview, and it was like, when you go for DNA,
The DNA test.
the
Yeah,
DNA
yeah.
test. So they have like normal to know your root, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
normally
yeah.
go for one,
Yeah.
but he went for the ancestry, like one
Yeah,
ancestry,
yeah.
like one
It's like
African's like,
ancestry.com or
yeah, and it's
something.
like, then they will tell you maybe if you're from Yorubas in Nigeria. I was like,
Yeah, it's true.
these guys are really learning.
Yeah.
Like they're really learning.
There's an Irish girl. I think she's
They're learning.
mixed. She's mixed Irish or whatnot. She said like when she checked her DNA, it shows that she's 75% African and 25% Irish. So since then, she's been trying to learn more about the culture. And also when I don't know, this producer, I think it was Soundwave, who was part of like the producing the Black Panther album by Kendrick, right? And he was like, when they were trying to make the album, they listened to tons
whole
and
South
tons
Africans,
of
yeah,
South African sound to be able
And
to
they
like,
have to
come up
immerse
with
themselves into
stuff.
the culture
Yeah,
and
they
into
got
the
immersed
tones,
in
yeah.
it. Yeah. So that's the party. I think we're going to talk more about that.
And now,
next
like
week.
when I watch series, most of the American series, like before I don't normally wait for the credit part of it.
Yeah.
I always check the credit part, and I always see an Yoruba name there.
Yeah. I always see
I
a
always see
lot.
a Yoruba
Yeah.
name. I was like,
I always see.
oh, wow.
I always see. Is there a Yoruba or married to the spouse is
It's
Yoruba?
like,
and-
oh, like, yo.
yeah, I always see that too. always
Nah,
see
I
it
really
there.
started
I
paying
check
so
it
much
out.
attention. I was like, yo, I have to read all the
Yeah,
credits.
either the
and see what's
actors or
like.
the screenwriters,
Yeah,
the screenplayers, or
all the
whatnot.
makeup artists, all the like the act, whatever. It's
Yeah.
like so. I think at a point we are losing track of our culture because we focus so much on Western culture,
Yeah.
and Western culture actually focuses so
No,
much
no,
on our own culture.
culture now, yeah.
And this is what should be embraced. Like I tell you, it will get to a point where having an accent will be the deal.
I think that's the thing with Black Panther now, because now
I've said this long
people are
before
now
even
saying
Black
that
Panther.
okay, now we have the lead actor, right, of Black Panther, that now he now has the Wakanda
Accent, yeah.
that. And hell, guess what? The first thing, Sabina was talking to me, right, because she saw the movie first before me, and then she was telling me that, oh, I think that guy doesn't have an American accent. And I said, why? He said because his accent sounds so weird that it doesn't sound American. I'm like, but he's American. Like he's never been to Africa, or maybe he's been, but
Yeah, they went
he's-
during the time.
but he's
yeah.
full American,
Americans, yeah.
and he lived and grew up in America. So where else is he gonna find a random accent?
Dude,
That is just something
everybody
that
have
he's
to
been trying.
learn.
And now,
And do you know, I was reading, there was a girl, I don't know where this girl was from. She was tweeting about everything about Black Panther. And it's like, oh, what is this? Lupita, whatever.
Lupita Nyong'o.
She actually went to Nigeria and spent 3 months in Hausa just to learn how to speak Hausa.
Yeah.
You see, from the first...
yeah.
She actually went to Nigeria
Yeah.
to stay for 3 months. Learn
And
how
now
to
we have
speak
like
Hausa.
the lead actor, right, with Black Panther, where now even media interviews, like after the Oscar, right, he now have that accent. That now people are now saying probably there's going to be Black Panther too.
Yeah, they're
so
gonna be
he's
like-
trying to stay sharp, where he doesn't lose the accent.
Lose the
so
accent.
now
And
he
having
has to-
accent is gonna
and
be like
also, it's
sexist
also good
very
because
soon.
he's using that accent to also sell the movie. Because if you've seen it and he still
You
keeps
can
saying this
relate.
accent in
When-
media
the last time
interviews, you can just immerse
The
yourself
last time,
back into
the last
the
time
movie.
I went out with my friend T. Like I haven't seen him for ages.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you have to come to RC, and I went to RC. When they saw me, the first thing he did was,
Yeah, right.
oh, like, yo,
Yeah, it's like culture.
yo, and I felt like
great
this
shit.
is like, oh, should I do this back or just chill?
Yeah,
Like,
just chill.
I was like, then when he wanted to say anything, hello, it's like, bro, say,
It's cool,
do it.
you
Like,
know,
and
like-
it felt like if I do it back to him, he got the approval. He
Yeah,
did the Wankada shit.
yeah. It's like,
He
yeah,
did that
it's like, you
like
got
20
the
times. I was like,
immigration stamp,
I have to have the okay,
Yeah.
okay, now you get it. And he was so happy. And it's like,
That's what's
he
up.
was so happy.
It's
like,
cool, man. It's cool, right? It's
I
the
just-
culture, you know.
that's so
And that's
funny,
the
man.
fun thing with diversity.
It's just so
Like,
funny.
there's a lot of joy and fun.
I don't know why we can have
in
fun
being diverse.
together.
So
why
I
do
don't
we have
understand
to, where is
why-
this racism coming from?
Exactly.
Why we can just find joy in every culture, like in Asian
don't get
culture,
it.
in
Like,
African
it's-
culture,
exactly,
and
like-
Western culture. And Westerners shouldn't be like Westerners should be able to relate to it because a lot of other continents values your culture
Your
so
culture
much.
so much.
To an extent they're actually forgetting their own culture.
Yeah. So, and also, is your own culture not even boring to you? To the point, because for me, right, I'm always excited when I want to like learn
Learn
about
new
new
thing.
culture
Yeah,
or maybe
new
try
thing.
another food. Like today, I can take pride in the fact that as a Nigerian, I eat Italian, I eat Indian,
Eat everything.
I eat Mexican, I eat Spanish,
Chinese, eat
I
everything.
eat Chinese, I eat Thai. So this was something I was
And
not doing
then
6 years ago.
then when you, if you,
And I
if you
love
put,
it.
If you put an African food to some people, it's like, wow, how do
Yeah,
you eat like
yeah.
this? What do you eat with this? Like,
Because
eat.
I just feel it's fun, like getting to know these other places and getting to eat their food. Then I've also eaten from Tanzanian
Yeah,
dish.
and that way actually makes you value your food because like
Yeah.
if you eat your food so much, you lose taste
And
of
now
it.
I'm actually very bored of eating African food because
Yeah,
now
because you eat
I
so
want
much.
to eat other food.
Yeah,
That's
me
the
too.
diversity. Like I want to go for a Mexican buffet with taram. I want to eat Indian. I want to eat Thai. So
Well,
I have
eat
all
everything.
these
Have to,
different
like-
varieties of food I want to eat in a week because basically I don't even eat African food more than once in a week.
I'm trying to reduce it like
Yeah.
once in 2 weeks right now because
Yeah.
I've been eating this
So
forever.
I don't know why people don't get tired when they don't see something different from their own comfort zone or from their own lens of how they
No,
see
people
life.
I don't know, man. People are just
Diversity
so,
is
I don't
fun.
know.
Diversity is good.
It brings
I love it.
happiness.
I
You know,
love
like,
it.
Okay, the last time when we were in Belgium and we see those guys in the this 2-story car like drinking beer.
Oh yeah,
making
yeah.
noise.
It's fun too. It's part of the
like,
European
yo,
culture, right? Because
this
it's something
dope.
that doesn't happen in
Yeah,
Lagos.
in Lagos
It
or it
doesn't
happen in
happen.
Thailand here or
Even
anywhere.
if it happens in Thailand, it's usually the white guys who are packed in the tuk-tuk.
Tuk-tuk, yeah.
And
They're
who are
making
just
it-
screaming
that is actually
and
noisy.
drinking.
Yeah.
It's noisy, but it's fun because they're here, they're doing it.
But they're
If it's
actually
not
having
them,
fun, yeah.
if it's not them, nobody does it.
You
We
can't
don't
go-
do
you
it
can't
as
go out
Africans.
no,
And
you get
Thais
bossed, you
don't
get
do it.
bossed
Thais
there.
are usually very quiet,
Quiet,
people.
yeah.
So it's also part of like, okay,
it's fun.
It's fun. So I don't know.
I don't know. I think diversity is fun. Knowing people, trying to learn people culture is actually very, very good.
Yeah.
Very, very. That way you actually have to walk in their own shoes. Like,
Yeah.
Then you will know how to like, yo, man.
And
I've seen
also,
people-
when you walk in other people's shoes, right, you see a shared story.
yes,
For example,
there will always be a connection. in one way or the
one
other.
way. Okay,
There
for
will
example,
always be a
my ex,
connection.
right, Kavita, right. When I got to know about Suriname, I saw that they also have jollof rice in their culture because of the African immigrants.
Wait a minute. How did they call Bele?
Bele.
Same
Bele.
thing.
Yeah, we
Same
we
thing.
also share very similar
There's
pidgin.
a lot of broken English we share
And
together.
then when we
yeah.
start to talk about our childhood and how we grew up,
And you find
then
out
I
like,
discovered that
oh, we have so much
we
in
have
common.
so much in common. And that's it. That's it. Because out of nowhere, I'm from one part of the world. She's from a very different part of the world. And the same thing goes
At
with
least we
other
have
people
this
I
shared
meet from
culture.
other countries too.
Yeah. We have shared culture.
yeah.
And you see, most of the people say, this is chicken curry, this is we have chicken stew, we have stew.
Yeah.
It's almost
It's
the same
almost
thing.
the same thing. That's why Indian food is one of my favorite because it's
Because
so
it's like- tastes
easy
like-
for me. Like it tastes
like
very
home.
similar to Nigerian. So since like the first time I had it, I always make sure I eat Indian every week. I already had Indian last night. Yeah, I already had Indian food last night. So what I need to complete my week now is Mexican.
Okay. And
So-
Mexican food is similar to African
Yeah,
food too.
it's good.
like really similar.
So I saw
They have these
I
beans and
just
they
love
have these
what-
beans
yeah,
and
yeah,
rice
yeah.
and shit like that.
So I
And
don't
they
know
have-
why people don't love diversity,
I
man.
used to hang out with a Dominican girl. Whenever I'm coming to her place, she was like cook beans and she cook beans and fried
plantain, dodo. And people
What
can actually
is-
go
what
crazy
is-
about
what is
plantain in
what is
Nigeria,
the,
man.
the guy needs, man? Like you go to a guy home and she's like frying plantain and that is two of my favorite. If you
Yeah.
don't eat that
You
one.
don't
and
knock
sleep.
them like this, eh?
And sleep. You
Go
can't
deep it.
you do jiggy jiggy then you sleep.
Ragbo, David. He said, "I did." Confirm.
Jiggy jiggy you sleep. What else do you want, man?
Man, we just went from almost closing the show to like
Another-
whole new
another-
discussion, man.
another 20
This is
minutes,
probably the
40
best
minutes, man.
episode.
Yeah,
This is probably the
it's
best
long,
episode,
but
man, because it's
it's
so
like we have-
organic.
You have to cover a lot of things. Like we missed last week,
so
what
it's
is
so
there?
organic and so like so.
I think we have to
deep.
call it. We already got
Almost-
to the 2 hours
yeah,
mark. So
yeah,
we
let's
have to
call
work,
it a
yeah.
night.
Have to call it a night.
Yep.
We're still drinking. We still remain your favorite host of the Other Room podcast.
Yeah.
We'll try not to skip a week anymore. We try
Yeah.
as much as we
Keep it
could.
low.
And there's a lot of things coming up this month. Just look up. We getting
sure.
things done. We getting things done, but it's slow. But we'll
Yeah,
get there.
definitely. It's a
slow,
progress.
but
We
we'll
just
get
trust
there.
the process.
Yeah.
So
We'll
We'll
get
get
there.
it done,
We'll get
yeah.
there. We're still your host. I'm Joel, aka Authority.
my name is Anthony at Grooving Tony.
Okay, we're signing out. A clap for the night.
That's what's up.